Okay, I'm here. Waku waku. Bakuran desu ka? Oh, I know that song. Of course you do. It's from the Cat Boys. But fucking good soundtrack, by the way. Like, for real. They have such a good soundtrack. The Cat Boys. Anyways, it's Saturday. Yeah. I mean, if you meant the song on the intro screen, it is from Neko Chishi, the Cat Boys. It is the Cat Boys. I need Nori a little bit closer to me today. Need to hug him better. So it is Saturday, as always. And yeah, that means we're going to play Echo. No, I mean Waku Waku. Oh, you mean Waku Waku. Okay. We did talk past each other then. Yeah, terrible. I know that you. By the way, you won't be complaining about me hungry. Why don't you wanna complain about being hungry? I hope you probably have eaten something for once. That would be good. Orko needs a game about elves abducting Nori and becoming Orko Wig. Oh my. Don't give me ideas, dude. Imagine a game where like a buff Bara orc rescues his rat husband from big titty elf milfs that kidnapped him, and she's beating the shit out of them. That is like something you don't want to have and don't want to make. Jesus Christ, it's happening all the elves. Because I have rice paper and mayonnaise today. Rice paper and mayonnaise? What? Okay, you have rice paper and mayonnaise. Okay, that's fine. Rice paper and mayonnaise. Be God thought? Yes. Okay. I think we are ready. I think we can. You could get away with it too, since it falls under parody. That is probably the biggest parody. All the elfen thoughts are horny for the rat husband. Or they are not horny for the rat husband, but it turns out it was a ploy all along to get the orc onto their grounds so they can milk him for his semen, and he refuses. We are knee deep into some really unsavory territory here. I has adapted with Maya taste. Loki pour it on my finger, lick it, as if it's chocolate cream. I don't know about that, man. I really don't. I think I know rice paper is like the stuff the Vietnamese use for summer roads, right? And that shit is actually pretty fire if it's on a summer road, but I don't know how I feel about just rice paper and mayonnaise as food. And I don't know, I think there should be something else with that rice paper. But anyways, let's jump to full-blown stuff into the Echo. It's salty mayo. Oh no. Is it salty mayo? Oh no. As East, I'm eating better food than what Leo is cooking. You might be right on that. What American food is notoriously deadly. Okay. We were on Friday, so I hope to finish it like at least Friday today and Saturday, but I doubt that. Chase, wow. Clint hadn't been lying after all. What? Leo whispers it at me from across the table, not looking up from his phone. Nothing. Just finding some interesting stuff. I whisper back. Good. Leo grins, but still doesn't look up from his phone. Probably watching otter porn right now, because he's like a fucking menace when it comes to that. I won't be able to watch the whole stream since me and some bots are gonna be playing Zombie Army Dead War. Oh, that's a good one. I love that one. Oops, Outdoors rice paper has been eating while waiting for you. Let me get some more. I really liked Zombie Army Dead War. That's the 4th one, right? That was a lot of fun. I'm just not sure about the entire expansion model they had. With like 50 trillion season passes and shit. That wasn't cool. But the base game was pretty good. But then again, it's Rebellion. Rebellion puts out season passes for season passes. They are terrible. We finished 3 some months ago, so we are starting this one now. Yeah, it's a good idea. It's really good. I had a lot of fun with it with some other friends I have. Strange Brigade is good too. After that, we might start Aliens Fireteam Elite. That's a good one as well. After reading through it, I'm pretty skeptical of Haunted Echo, the main source of my documentary. At least a bit of information I just came across references some newspaper articles from 1952. The young wolf named Robert Smith wasn't even a resident of Echo. He'd been resting at the Echo classification yard after taking a train from the capital. He was on his way to the west coast, and once he thought he'd found the right train, he attempted to board it. No one knows exactly what happened, yet somehow his train hopping went horribly wrong, and he was found with both limbs severed 2 hours later. I asked myself how he survived that. He had to be bled to death. He managed to crawl 20 yards north up along the rail before he was found. Leo may rubbing his hands under his pants right now, and Chase just don't know. He probably does. He's like that. He survived the ordeal up to that point. This was mainly due to the mud packs that had been placed on the stumps, halting the bleeding. Of note was the fact that Robert had seemingly become delirious because of the blood loss, pain, or trauma. I thought the bleeding was stopped by the dirt. Man, that's one hell of a sepsis waiting to happen. Likely a combination of the 3, actually. He claimed that the bleeding had been stopped by a creature of some kind. When he tried to describe it, he began to sob and scream incoherently. It's hard to say how much of this is being exaggerated by the author. Either way, I don't exactly have time to track down all of her sources, so I decide I'll just leave. I'll just have to trust it. My leg jumps as something soft and ticklish brushes up against it. I snap my gaze up at Leo. Of course it's Leo. What? Leo gives me an innocent look while he continues to brush his tail against my leg. Oh my god, Leo, stop it. Well, if you're not gonna say anything, then please stop doing that. It's distracting. He does stop then, and I feel a little guilty, so I look back up. And thanks for getting a library card, just so I could check this out. It's a huge help. He smiled. No problem, Nutria. Not one of your sexier words. I returned back to the book. It's unlikely that Robert would have survived anyway due to the extent of his injuries and infection. Still, it is of note that he ended up committing suicide a few hours after discovery. He apparently slipped out of the 5th floor window of the Peyton Regional Medical Center. Aren't these... Okay. Though authorities simply dismissed the case as a case of a man knowing that his demise was nigh in finishing the job himself, the author speculates it had something to do with the horrors he saw on the tracks. I'm so curious what kind of horrors those were. I don't know who to believe anymore. Some said Chula mean baby girl, some said it's a slang for penis. It can be both at the same time, I feel like. Or it is regionally different. That could also be the case. Language works in weird ways. I hear a soft whine coming from in front of me, and I lower the book to find Leo draped across the table on his chest. He's looking up to me with huge puppy eyes. I can't help but smile because it's so fucking adorable, even for a wolf as big as him. What, I have a project to do, remember? Yeah, I know, but we've been here for 3 hours now. We should take a break. I look at the time and I'm shocked that he's actually right. How the hell did that happen? Well, I guess that's a good idea. I was just finding some really interesting stuff. I'm sure the project of yours is gonna turn out awesome. He grins and stands up abruptly, grabbing my book up as well. I couldn't continue to read. Let's get some lunch. It's already almost 3. Alright. Did you want to go to the diner? Yeah. You want to eat there? Well, it's been a few days. I'd like to catch up with the others, you know? I know that's what you wanted to do. Actually, everyone's busy. I already tried. Oh, really? What are they doing? Well, Flint's working. TJ and Jenna are on a hike and Carl's asleep. Oh. Yes, I always stream race streams. It does really seem like Leo to just blow off meeting up with everyone, but I guess at this point the trip he's just tired of trying. Of course our Christian is hiking 24/7. Yeah, of course. He needs to search for God. And the only way to do that is by hiking. I know I would be. Probably just to show me... What? Probably just to show me up after what I said last night. Leo takes me to a semi-fancy steakhouse. He of course insists on paying for everything, of course he does. I'm not really sure when Leo became so concerned with how I perceive his income. I don't mind though, the meal is good, and I'm happy not to pay the $30 price tag. It does remind me of his job though, so I ask him about his schedule. He says his parents gave him the entire week off, which surprises me. There's something more to this. I feel like Leo's parents just don't give him off for an entire week. There's more to this. Because Chase, he worries about losing you again. And that too. I mean, he can't let go. We already know that. And he's probably, yeah. But he also wants to show his heartthrob that he can take care of him. What he said, right? Again, I have no reason to complain though. On our way back, Leo nudges me as I'm nodding off and gestures out of the window. Peyton High. Sure enough, our old school is visible out the window. Wanna swing around? Just to look at it? Yeah. I'm tired, but we are not doing anything else. Alright, why not? It's past 5 at this point, and as we pull up into the parking lot, there are only a few cars scattered around. We walk around the side of the school, then onto the football field. Those were the times where you could do that still. In the early 2000s. Today you would probably get shot by school security. At least in the US. Also, if you're an adult, you have nothing. And I mean absolutely fucking nothing. No business in a fucking high school. Except if you're a teacher. That's different. Oh no, not here. Instantly cry. If Peyton High School put its money anywhere, it was definitely sports. And that was one of the reasons I was so mediocre by comparison. Every sport in the school was extremely competitive. Each one winning state regularly. They win state again since I've been gone? Nope. Came close last year though. Almost as close as we did back in 09. Yeah. You still sore about that? Leo sits down at the top bench of the concrete bleachers, and I sit down next to him. Imagine, it is the desert. It is probably 40 degrees and up, and you sit on the concrete bleacher. It probably has been fucking baking in the sun for the entire day. I don't think that is a very good idea. Sometimes. Mostly because we were so damn close. And the Echo Kid cooked, yeah. Probably can cook an egg on those stones. Sometimes mostly because we were so damn close. And it really just feels like it was yesterday. Kinda does feel that way. I can remember it pretty damn clearly. It was one of the few times I'd seen Leo really cry. He'd wanted the championship so bad. I lean back and look around, breathing in deeply. Wow, it's really nostalgic being here. Isn't it? Leo looks towards the sunset and I can see him getting glassy-eyed. Is it weird that if I could, I'd go through high school again? Yeah, that's kinda weird, but also kinda expected of a statement from you, Leo. I say it again, you cannot let go. You just want to go through high school again, because it was probably the time you enjoyed the most, because you were with your heartthrob, and because you had something to do there. You had something to say. And now you are gonna be a wild ride of emotions. Now you're here and with your heartthrob and just want to do it again. I think for a moment, not really. I'd like to do it. I'd like to do it. I made a lot of mistakes. Well, not really because of that. More like it was a lot of fun. I just want to experience it all again. I'm getting a hint of that Leo is not happy in his life right now. Which he probably isn't. I think that doesn't take a genius to, like, get that out of the character, so. I grin at him. Hey, you're talking like you peaked in high school. Did I? The question completely catches me off guard, and my stumbling around for words that follows doesn't help. No. He sighs. Leo, got a good paying job, your own house, pretty damn good life. You're doing better than most. Thank you, Mr. Obvious. Yeah, I'm Captain Obvious. I'm rebranding from TheOrcosaurus to Captain Obvious. He laughs a little. I guess I don't feel like it, you know? Yeah, because you can't let go of the past, you can't. Why not? By the way, say somebody who can't let go of the past either. Haha. Sometimes. He leans back. Well, I don't really feel as good as I did back then. When I think of high school or even further back, man, those were the good days. I think about how completely inverse I am to that. How my life improved exponentially after I left this town. I can't let go of Echo. Does that count? It counts. It counts fine. Well, you know, if you keep looking back, I don't think you'll ever be happy. Oh my god, this is nice. Oh. How do I get rid of this thing here again? Oh, there we go. This looks nice. This is beautiful. Look at it. Press G or H. Already done. I pressed the middle mouse button. That worked too. Ah! Fucking brilliant. This is what Echo fans cry. He looks so sad. I wrap my arm around his shoulders. It's just a little difficult considering how broad they are. Because 5 years from now, you'll probably look back on this era of your life and think, man, I wish I could go back. You're probably right. So let's just enjoy now. The wind before the storm is coming. Leo sighs again, then looks straight down at me. Meet in my eyes. Chase? Yeah? He pauses, looking off to the side before turning his eyes back to mine. I love you. Oh boy! Oh fucking boy! This is not going well right now. I mean, normally I would say if this was like any other visual novel where like love was the goal, I would say yeah, we are doing well. But this is not good. Cheers. I immediately look away. Chase, please just come back. I miss you so much every day. I stare out across the field, not being able to meet his eyes again. I'll stop smoking. I'll stop picking on Clint. I'll get rid of the gun. Just please come back. Chase, I don't know, Leo. You know how I don't like it here. And I feel like I should keep my options open to find a good job, a good place to live. Just for a year or two, while you're getting on your feet, I'll give you a place to stay. Orca meeting the horrible fate with this one. Yep. Somebody's getting shot. That sounds great, Leo. But to get back together, it's like setting ourselves up for another breakup. And I don't want to do that. But then, we'd know for sure. Without parents. There's school in the way. It'll be just us, and then, even if it doesn't work out, there's some closure there. How did you know, Orko? I don't know. I have it in my left testicle. For the first time, I feel myself seeing things from Leo's point of view. I'm not necessarily losing anything by at least trying. Are you sure about that? And he's right. There really wasn't any closure, mostly because of me. Leo must sense my indecision, because he immediately presses forward. And I'll be making enough to support you while you figure things out. Orko is the spoiler god before anyone can spoiler him. Was himself, but he just doesn't know it. Hey, I don't wanna mooch. I don't mind. I just want you to be comfortable so you can do what you want to do. But, Echo... Leo's quiet for a while. A long while before he finally speaks up. Now that I can fix, but I guess one way to decide is to weigh what's more important to you. You're asking me to choose. I'm not asking exactly. Leo glances at me. But if I did, I blow out a long sigh. So you are... He doesn't say anything. So my mind starts wandering over the years we'd spent together. Despite how much we fight, there is no question in my mind what the answer is, and it hits me like a thunderbolt. Well, I choose you. All at once, his face explodes into a grin. And a little bit later, Chase's brain probably explodes all over the wall. Because somebody's gonna get shot. It would have been way better if Leo and everyone just moved out of Echo. This wouldn't have happened. So much happiness in one expression that I don't think I'd ever be able to take back what I just said, even if I wanted to. Bruh, as if. I'm instantly wrapped up in a tight, warm hug. One that crushes the air from my lungs. Oh my god, Chase! I love you so fucking much! Hey! But you've still got a year of school left, so we're gonna have to get back into contact. And we're gonna have to exchange... I clasp his muscle shut. With my hand around it. And he just stares back at me with wide eyes. That just because he would choose you doesn't mean he actually would. I didn't say yes. I take my hand away from his muzzle. Oh my god. Oh god, this is so fucked, dude. This is not going to end well for anyone. This is going to get fucked. We are so done, lad. He's unfixable. That indeed he is, my friend. Oh well. What do you say? I look again towards the sunset, past the concrete, bleachers and goalposts in the direction of Echo, and take a deep breath. I look back at Leo. Yes. Even in the deepest pit of hope, there is a light of hope. And then he's kissing me. Not rough like it was at the train yard. His mouth stays closed, but he holds my head gently. And it's like he's trying to pour all his love into me through just his lips. As ridiculous as it might sound, I can feel it. There is no happy end here. I can feel that. I know I'm saying this all the time, but there is something so, like, I know we are getting to the point where it's going to explode in everyone's face, and not in the good kind of way. Not in the way where you just like get creamed all over your face. Gonna be a lot of tears, a lot of shit, a lot of piss, and a lot of blood. And it's gonna get ugly. Leo's heavy stuffed body presses me into the bed, licking and kissing up my neck. His hands slide up and down my body, feeling out everything, and he's gasping like he can't catch his breath. I lay there, my eyes shut as I feel his cock pressing up against mine, writhing every time Leo reaches down to grasp them together. I slide my own hands down his back until they reach his rear, and I squeeze hard under his tail, pressing another gasp out of the big wolf. Some nice ass grabbing there. There's nudity in this game, no. Just very descriptive right now. It's gonna burst of emotion and leave seed of thought for a few weeks. Fun fact: it has been 5 to 6 day Leo etching non-stop ever since Chase arrived after 3 years. Oh god. Gonna explode. Slowly he starts to lick down the length of my body, starting with my chest and then down towards my stomach. He pauses to snuffle and tease against my navel before his mouth finally closes around me. My eyes roll back as I clutch into the sheets, arching my back. I listen as Leo showers down the hall, and I smile as I hear him singing. I'd usually shower with him back in the day, but I was so tired I passed out as soon as we both finished. Once I opened my eyes again, Leo was already in the shower. I'm about to drift off again when I hear Leo's phone buzz. He'd been on it all day, probably trying to coordinate the meetings with the others. I kind of feel like that Leo did not do any meetings with the others. I feel like that... Could it be that Leo is into illegal activities involved in some way? Like, is he a drug lord or something? Let's feel unsafe together, Orko. I mean, yeah. It's already Friday, which is hard to believe. We had to get together before we lost the chance. I look over the screen already lit up, so I sit up and look. A message from Flynn. Yeah, well, fuck you too. Not exactly a surprising message to get from Flynn, but I still wonder what they are fighting about. From the sound of it, Leo's still in the middle of his shower, still rocking out his diva pop song. What are we doing here? Actually, we should respect his privacy, right? We should be a good boyfriend. But in some way... In some way, shape, or form, I feel like we should check his phone. I'm not respecting a red flag. Are you fucking for real? With some amount of guilt, I reach over and grab his phone and open up his texts. Save first, by the way. Oh shit, I didn't. That was too late. Fuck. Well, we can get there again. Just have to fast forward, I guess. Immediately, I see a few pinned conversations. They are from me. Judging by the dates, they are from when I was still away at college. There's also a few saved attachments, and I quickly swipe away to the other more recent conversations. The latest from earlier this morning, and it looks like it was to Flynn. Chase has a project to do. Bullshit, you're fucking with him again, huh? I'm helping him. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. It is exactly what I said, that Leo and Flynn fucked, and now Flynn is getting jealous, isn't he? You planned this from the start, didn't you? What? This whole thing. It was to get back in his pants. How about I planned this after you ruined the entire week, huh? Yeah, well, fuck you too. I frown. It's too bad Leo and Flynn are still fighting, but for some reason the exchange has me feeling uneasy. I pull up his recent text thread, one with Carl. Carl asked Leo when we are hanging out again yesterday night. Leo pokes some fun at him about sleeping in the crawl space. Then Leo tells him that he is sure. Yeah. Mouse wheel roll back. Ah, there we go. Very good. Thank you. Yeah, Leo tried to isolate Chase from the others so he can fuck him. Because Flynn did warn Chase. Yeah, he did. Leo never asked me. I feel my heart start to pound. Today, Carl texted again, asking how things were going. Leo tells him that I wanted to go to the high school for nostalgia's sake. Oh, somebody's lying. That I wanted it to be alone for it. He sent that 2 hours ago. 2 hours before we even got there. Before he acted as if it was on a whim. Jenna asks if Leo is avoiding her, if she said something wrong. Leo tells her everything is fine, but again, I'm too busy to hang out. And then his text to TJ. Hey, yesterday was so much fun. I know you said you were probably going to be busy, but I wanted to check. Chase is still pretty sad about what happened Monday. I think he needs more time. Oh, okay. Please tell him I'm sorry. He told me he was fine yesterday, but I guess he must have been faking it for my sake. Yeah, he's still pretty broken up. We'll figure it out, though. I'm gripping the phone hard. Could Leo have really done all of this? Yes! The red flags were there all the time, you fucking idiot. Leo doesn't act in your best interest, he's acting in his own self-interest. He wants to fuck that other pussy. And he goes to length. Like, how many red flags do you actually fucking need to get the fuck out of there, Chase? This guy is a textbook insane person. He's isolating you from your fucking friends. Do you know that this is a abusive... You can't talk. Do you know that this is an abusive relationship? I don't understand why Leo is not angry over Cheddar for what she did to put Chase and Leo into a hard situation before the Echo incident. Leo needs Otter like me needs Bronson. To TJ especially. I sit there quietly, listening to my wolf continue to sing. My stomach twists up as I realize that now I have to confront him on this. I've let things slide before, but this is on a different level. I hug my knees and stare at the wall, feeling strangely violated now. As I stare, I see a dark spot where spindly legs move across the wall. The spider pauses as if acknowledging me before disappearing into a dark corner. She's probably tried to be, I can't fix him. Nah, you can't fix Leo. Leo is unfixable. Leo is genuinely fucked up. I mean, that's how most MC characters in game recruit evil characters. I do think this is beyond, like, fixable. My eyes are just enough for me to realize that I'm outside somewhere, looking through the branches of dead trees to the many stars above. Aside from the calls of a few birds, completely silent. I stare at the sky above for me for a while, wishing that it wasn't so cold, so I could go back to sleep. Where am I? The slight confusion I feel mixed in with the apathy of just waking up is a familiar feeling. I can remember when my parents forced me into Boy Scouts 10 years ago. I hated it so much, especially the camping. I could never fall asleep. When I finally did, I would be marred by me tossing and turning, waking up in confusion as to where I was. I'd sit up straight in the tent, looking around me for up to 10 minutes, wondering why I was in complete darkness and sitting in a sleeping bag. Except, no, there's no tent or sleeping bag. Where did you go? My wife was talking to me real quick. My mind works slowly, like it's drenched in molasses, and I knead the ground with my fingers, sticking them into the dead vegetation and soil. Wildfire. I feel lonely without him. He is coming, like Flynn and Sydney. Yeah, he will be there. And then finally I break through the barrier to lucidity and I realize that what's happening to me is real. I'm outside. I look left, right, and right and see that I'm surrounded by trees and bushes. The smell of sagebrush and dirt fills my nostrils as I unsteadily get on my feet. My limbs and flesh are numb from the cold, and I rub my hands up and down my arms, trying to find some warmth. Did I sleepwalk? I must have, unless Leo took me out here for some reason, or someone else did. I shiver. There's not much else I can do except walk forward. Ahead of me, it looks like the branches clear out into more darkness. Uncle, what time is it for you? 7:30. I mean, 7:24, but yeah, it's almost 7:30. If at night, turn off your room light right now. No, I won't, because then the tracking for the camera is shitty. Either way, I can't be that far from the house. Also, it's still light outside anyway, so whatever. So I start walking, reaching out blindly to move past sharp branches and prickly bushes. The pain wasn't that bad. Not nearly as bad as you'd think it'd be. I look behind me, staring hard into the blackness. I can't see anything beyond the branches right in front of me, which give the impression of gnarled teeth in front of a dark, endless mouth. Quickly, I turn back around and push through the dead vegetation in front of me, trying not to panic. But I knew I was dead the moment I looked down. A branch scrapes across my cheek, and another stabs me hard in the hip as I run right into it. Two stumps gushing, blood splashing the wheels of the train and rails. I finally break out into the open. You can say what Chase has to going through an echo is the punishment he deserves for what he's done. Now I can see more stars above me, but the complete lack of a moon makes almost everything around me impossible to see. Let's not feel too bad for our little Nutria. I don't feel bad for him. We'll see. I can at least tell that it's a large clearing, but no matter how hard I squint, I can see ahead of me. Tentatively, I start walking forward, looking left and right for any sign of the lights that might help guide me back to the town. I can feel a worrying seed of panic starting up in my chest and I worry it's gonna explode out of me at any second. The last thing I need is me running through the night screaming my head off. Pretty soon I become aware of what looks like a large block in front of me. Again, I reach out my hands, walking slower as I approach whatever it is that's in front of me. They press up against something rough and hard and cold. Whatever it is made up. So it is made up of some type of metal. It feels broken and rusted. So I assume it's old. Like me! Was it a warehouse of some kind? It might be just a train cart, maybe? I sidestep to the right until my hands run up against some bars that stick out from the structure, and that's when it hits me. Yeah, it's a freight cart from the old train. What I said. I'm a psychic. Sure enough, the next thing my hands meet is empty space as I come across what I remember to be the open door I had sat in earlier. I was out in the train yard. I almost laughed. Did my anxiety about finishing the project cause me to sleepwalk all the way back out here? At least now I know exactly where I am. I rest my hands on the edge of the cart, breathing in the musty air inside. There's a hint of something sweet and sick on top of it, and it crosses my mind that anything could have crawled inside and died. I feel like you're gonna find something in there that is not going to be very nice. Oh, you're not going even in there. Damn. I quickly move away from the car, turning my body in the direction I know Leah's house is in. I start walking again, pouring through my recent memories to see if I could somehow remember how the hell I got here. I remember Leo coming back into the bedroom, putting his arm around me, then nothing. I definitely fell asleep. Sleepwalking is the only answer. The sound of rustling behind me makes me jump. But I keep moving forward, not wanting some tiny creature in the grass getting me spooked. Squinting ahead of me, I see no lights. Yet, which is strange because I know Echo should have at least a few lights on. The street lights at least. A loud metallic clang fills the air, and this time I do whirl around. Hello? My voice is still scratchy from waking up, and I cough to clear it. Hello? The loudness of my voice actually startles me, but the response is silence. Did a bird hit it? Maybe I knocked something loose when I was feeling around. I'm definitely not going back to check it though. So, with a quick pace, I start moving again. It's when I hear more shifting around in the car, like something is rolling around inside. I stop walking again and hold still, perking my ears as I try to hold my breath. Heart pounding. This time I don't call out and instead just listen. I swallow, and it's so loud I almost jump at that sound. But again, the sound stops completely. I wait a while longer before I stop moving again, this time at a slight jog. Crazy though. Crazy thought enters my mind. I think maybe Leo and I got really drunk, and maybe we both came here and blacked out. No, that's not what happened. And that Leo is in the train car right now, hungover and rolling around. It's in the middle of that thought, though, that the sounds start up again. It's louder this time and ends up with it cutting off for a split second before something heavy thuds to the dead vegetation below. I stop again, but this time it's so that whatever it is doesn't hear me, knowing that if I keep walking, the heavy crunches of my footsteps will allow for it to pinpoint me immediately. My throat is completely dry, and a new thought enters my mind. It would be Clint. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he comes out here to sleep in the train cars. That would totally be something that he'd do. I'm also not sure if this is Clint. While it does ease my worries a little bit, I'm not fully relaxed because I know the dumb fuck has a gun. I also know he wouldn't hesitate to shoot at something if it startled him. So I crouched down a bit, waiting, listening, and now I'm pretty sure I can hear breathing. Is this event real? That is the real question. We'll find out. So I crouched down a bit, waiting, listening. And now I'm pretty sure I can hear breathing. Ragged, wheezy breathing that definitely sounds like Clint. I gather up some spit in my mouth so my tongue doesn't stick to the roof of it and take a small breath. Hey, Clint? I say gently, quietly, but I'm sure he can hear me. I get some more silence in return, but I also get the distinct feeling that he's listening back. I try again. It's me. There's an explosion of energy and sound in front of me, but it's not a gunshot. Instead, it's a sense of forward momentum that I can't physically feel. That whatever it is in front of me is lunging forward at me. Two loud thuds, one following the other, in less than half a second, followed by an explosive dragging sound. The cycle repeats the second it ends. Whatever it is, it sounds desperate, almost manic. But I don't stick around to find out because I know. I know it. My legs are carrying me through the clearing as fast as they can. All thoughts of what it could be are gone from my mind as I dodge into the trees and bushes to my right, knowing that if I can break through the other side, I'll be right in front of Leo's house. What's behind me, though, is moving impossibly fast. Already, it sounds like the distance between me and it has been cut in half, as I'm struggling between branches and sagebrush. I hear it break it into the brush with me. I gasp as I full-on panic since Leo! Leo! I scream as loud as I can, knowing that he should be able to hear me. Also knowing that he sleeps like a rock. The thing behind me seems to double its efforts at the sound of my voice, and the cycle of its movement is increased. It now has the momentum of a gallop. My breaths are coming in panicked gasps, and now I know I'm not gonna make it because it's only 3 feet behind me. And if a window opens up in the back of my mind, I see it. 2 clawed hands outstretched towards me. A face that flashes past too fast for me to make out. But I managed to see a lipless mouth. And then it slams me into the... And then it slams into my back and crushes me into the ground against sharp branches and rocks. I gasp as the air is crushed out of me. But before I can suck it back in, those hands wrap around my neck. I struggle and pull, but it's like I'm an ant under a foot. I'm so thoroughly pinned that I can't even budge an inch. I think... There's hissing behind my head and I feel dripping again against the back of my neck. Tears squeeze out of my eyes as I try to reach forward, but it's like I'm paralyzed. Paralyzed. I'm yanked back, suddenly my face coming out of something soft and white. A pillow. Chase, are you okay? So, was this a real event or what was that? I think he dreamt of something that happened, really. But we'll see. Chase, are you okay? Leo's husky voice whispers in my ear as I take in a huge gasp of air. Sorry, Orca, Wi-Fi somehow is unwatchable. Oh my. It's just sound on then. More can't breathe? I cough and gasp, my face wet with tears as I sit in the bed looking around. If you see this message, if I'm not back in a minute, I am heading to sleep, okay? Oh baby, it's okay. Leo draws me into a warm hug and I take it limply, my mind only now catching up. I cough a few more times. Sorry, paralysis, couldn't move. Leo rocks me a few times, making shushing sounds. I remember you telling me about that. Good thing I was here to pull you out of your pillow. I nod against his chest, realizing how dangerous it could have been if he hadn't been here. I usually came out of the paralysis in under a minute, but sometimes I shudder and pull back out of the hug, wiping my face. What did you dream about? I tried to think back, but the dream was fleeing my mind as far as whatever it was that was chasing me. What was chasing me? I can't remember. Leo rubs my shoulders and looks at my face. Dark, but I can see the white of his eye patches, giving him almost a ghostly appearance. Wanna stay up? I can make you a tea or something. The adrenaline is already leaving me to be replaced by fatigue. But the offer sounds nice. Sure. Alright, wanna come with me? I paused and shake my head, wanting to collect myself alone for a moment. Nah, no. Just give me a second. Alright. Leo leans forward and kisses me on the forehead before leaving me alone in the dark room. Like, if you have moments like this in this visual novel, then you really think Leo is a good guy, but he isn't. I mean, he probably is really concerned about Chase right now and what's happening. But he's also a fucking psychopath. I lay back down on my side, trying again to remember what I had dreamt about. I was in the woods and something was after me. That's about all I can recall. The warmth Leo left in the bed quickly has me drowsy again, and I'm about to drift off when something pokes me in the foot. I try to ignore it, but a thought of an insect of some kind has me reaching down to feel at it. A psychopath, if love someone, they will see them to be safe too. Yeah, absolutely, but he's still a fucking psychopath. It's hard and crackly. Whatever it is, when I pull it up, I find a dead leaf. Frowning, I pull back the sheets in there, clinging to the fabric. And fur on my feet. Is that dirt? Is dirt and leaves? What? That was... Was it a dream? What? I'm so confused right now. I want to see where this goes. Leo wakes me up early the next day, telling me he had to settle some stuff with his dad at the shop. I don't get much of a chance to ask why, or for how long, before he's out the door yelling something about food being in the fridge. I immediately fall back asleep though, and when I open my eyes again, it's been 2 hours later. Leo texted me half an hour ago. Still at Pop's shop, but be back soon, I think. I swallow back down the lump of dread in my throat as I remember the text messages. I didn't want to confront him, not one bit, but I can't let it sit. Something has to be said before I leave. I lay around for another 20 minutes before grabbing my phone to browse a bit. That's when I realized I hadn't charged it last night. My battery is just at 25%. I groan and throw an arm over my eyes. 1 day left to do the project. Yes, tomorrow you will leave. I'm so far behind though that I'm not even feeling any anxiety about it at this point anymore. Yo, Orko. What would you do if you found out you has been spending time with ghostly shadow clone that look like you instead of you? I don't know. I'd probably ask her if she... Why she did it. Why she didn't just come to me. The real thing, you know? That's what I probably would do. Just resigned. You should have known better, really. That I wasn't gonna sit and get anything done with Leo around. I stared at the wall for a bit. How much did I miss? Ah, you missed the chase scene. I call it the chase scene. We are Saturday now. We just woke up. Yeah. And I'm still baffled. Angel! Wildfire! You two are fucking cool. I forced myself to sit up. No use lying around. I might not be making my best project, but it didn't mean I could do a few things to make it less terrible. Orko got past the bonding scene between Chase and Leo, and then Chase got chased, yes. Saturday, oh no! Saturday can start! Food momentarily crosses my mind, but I shrug it off. I've never been a breakfast person anyway. Oh yeah, and we found out that, Leo is still a fucking psychopath, telling all of Chase's friends, that he doesn't have time for them, like a true psychopath would do. We found that out too. Isolating him, essentially. Which is like the most fucked up shit you can do. Like, don't do that! Orko has fallen down deeper into the rabbit hole. Down the rabbit hole! Frederick Knudsen, one of my favorite YouTubers, has a show called Down the Rabbit Hole. He makes really cool videos, but he only uploads like every 300 years or so. So you don't really get a lot of his videos, but the last one he uploaded was like a 6-hour video on EVE Online. It was fucking great, but also fucking insane. Orko, it's Echo Leo. Not meeting your for 3 years may drive you insane. He was already insane before Chase left. Firstly, it's dead quiet. Usually there's some kind of drone. Whether it's the wind or a plane overhead, there's usually something. No sound of birds either, and those were always chirping in the morning. He got so much worse though. I stand in the doorway for a bit, feeling a vague sense of tension. Electricity in the air. That's because somebody's going to get shot. Something building. I shake my head, feeling dizzy. That dream last night had fucked me up in all kinds of ways, so it's not surprising that it's probably still messing with me. I would said Leo before Chase left him. Isn't Leo that fixable? Some rustling next door draws my attention, and I see Kutsu carrying a set of clippers walk across his front yard. I open my mouth, say hi, but I hold back, feeling self-conscious. His brooding nature was a bit intimidating, and I don't know if he's the kind of person who expects a greeting or not. Just say hello, you fucking idiot! Just say fucking hello! You see the neighbor, you say hello. This is not fucking rocket science. I feel like it would be more fixable had Chase not done. Spoilers. Wildfire, I miss you so freaking much. Being Orca only active member feels so low. Morning. Oh, hey there. He grunts before setting his attention on a bush in front of him, sizing it up. I stand there awkwardly for a bit longer, wondering if that's the end of our exchange, but he speaks up again. Leo, take off? He nods his head at the empty driveway. Oh yeah, earlier this morning. I walk down from the porch and walk over to the edge of Leo's lawn, so it doesn't feel like we're yelling at each other. Said something about having to take care of business with his dad. Sorry, I was supposed to do something, but it kept getting delayed, and then when I finally got to do it, it took forever. It's fine, Wildfire. I appreciate you being here. I know Angel is always very energetic too. I see. Kutsu stops trimming and looks up at me before smiling. You can come on my lawn. It's not like I have an electric fence or anything. Looking down, I see that I'm towing the edge of his immaculate lawn on Leo's side, looking like a little kid. I blush before stepping over to crunch along the tan-colored gravel he has set out. It sucked you got busy streamed twice, yeah. It's weird how nice it all is, especially compared to the shitty trailer sitting in the middle of it all. If he had an Adobe-styled house, the place would be Southwestern perfection. This all looks really nice. I guess gardening is your hobby? Thanks. Kutsu snips at the bush rather aggressively. I like it. It's what I do most of the day. Hard to keep myself sitting calmly while there is so many potential spoilers that I can leak unintentionally. The raccoon moves to the side of the bush, examining it. Peaceful. Fire is the person that can stop me. He gives the bush another snip before resting a hand on his hip. Well, he lets the clippers dangle in the other. And it keeps you in shape. Can't argue with that. Although he's skinny, the muscles show through the fur on his arms. He's probably the most in shape guy I've seen in Echo. Look at Kutsu, such an adorable household husband he is. Yeah, he actually is. I realize I'm staring and quickly snap my eyes back to his. But he's already smirking. I worry he's about to point out that he's caught me. But instead he gestures at my camera back with his clippers. Gonna do something for your project? Yeah, but I'm not much better myself. I imagine most of my jokes are spoilers. When you know the content, that's redundant, never mind. The slender raccoon wipes his forehead with a forearm. Anything in particular, I think? No, not really. Just old stuff to show the town's age. Kutsu sticks the clippers in the ground, looking at as if he seems to think. I know a few things. You go to the old school? Yeah, I was headed there actually. And then there's the ruins next to the lake. Yeah, I was gonna wait for Leo to drive me there later today. Oh, other than that, there's an old rusted pump up the road, but I don't know. That's actually from Echo's earlier days. Couldn't hurt to look. Where is it exactly? Kutsu points over my shoulder up the road. Down past Duke's house, right before the convenience store. Kinda hidden back in some brush. But I can take you there. Oh, if it's no trouble. Fine. Got plenty of time to do this today. Not really spoiler, but kinda Kutsu make a better husband because he figured out what holding him back faster than Leo did. Yeah, at least I have someone to do together with. Not fun when there's no one. Or knowing the hidden jokes you do. Yep. Glad we could work this out. Well, alright, thanks. I shift the bag on my shoulder and stand to the side as Kutsu tosses the clippers beside the bush and then starts walking towards the road. I follow him quietly, again feeling awkward under his no-nonsense attitude. So you and Leo getting along? Yeah, we're having fun. My mind wanders back to the text messages and my stomach clenches. Good, he's been looking forward to this week for a while now. Wouldn't shut up about it last week. I'm somehow surprised that Kutsu is filling the silence between us. Because Kutsu is caring about you. Ignoring all his manipulations, yeah, we've been good. Not that I mind, he's pretty damn good at it for such a somber guy. I smile. Yeah, that's Leo. He really misses our old pack. Or does he? He misses you. That's a huffs and laughs, wolves. I agree. Wolves. As we walk, I can smell the heavy musk coming from the raccoon, mingled with his scent neutralizer. Evidence of a hard day's work. There's something special about hanging out with another musky creature. It makes me feel less self-conscious. So, I know you hate Peyton, but don't you have to go back there for work? Back in the day, had a job studying desert plants after college. Good times. Raccoon musk. That would definitely put him a few steps above most. Everyone living in Echo. where a high school diploma is a rare thing. I'm a clerk in the town hall, so no, I'm pretty much always here. Always? Do you have a car? Sold it after I came here. Wow, don't you have to get out, shop for food? Sometimes I grow and fish for what I can, and the convenience store has surprisingly good produce section, but otherwise Leo gives me a ride once in a while. Ah, gotcha. Again, I'm curious about what exactly happened in Peyton. I'm gonna be gone by tomorrow, and I don't find the question to be too intrusive, especially with all the information he's provided me so far. So I don't want to be nosy, and the best answer to this is then don't be. Hey Orko, what would it take for you to go to a town like this? Actually, it depends what the reason would be, I have to say. How? Wait a second before I answer your question. Now I need to. I let the statement hang for a moment and Katsu turns his head towards me. Then maybe you shouldn't. Oh my god. Ah. Okay, what would it take for me to get to a town like this? It depends on the reason. If I had to live there, at least an income where I can afford a Starlink and just have fun with the Starlink. So basically work from home office, whatever. And the other, if it's just for tourism, I would just go there. I would just take a look at it. Just probably need to be safe and yeah. Take care of yourself because of the Clints in this world. But I mean, Clint isn't a bad person, but you know. Orko accidentally legitimately guessing the future counted 10 once. That stops me short and I almost stop walking. I feel my face get warm even under the heat of the sun. I glance over at the raccoon, but his expression isn't accusatory or angry. It's just as neutral as it always is. Well, Kutz is pretty reasonable, so it makes sense, but still. It makes me wonder if this is just the raccoon's way of speaking. No, he literally just told you the only answer to this question, to the start of the sentence. I don't want to be nosy. Don't. Like, just flat out ask the question. Say, Kutsu, look, you told me you left Peyton. What happened? You don't have to tell me, but I'm curious. What's wrong with that? Well, yeah, then don't. Exactly. Just flat out ask the fucking question if you want to know something. The worst thing people can do is like tell you, no, I don't answer your question. Fuck off. And then you say, okay, fine. And you just move on. But never start your sentence with, well, I don't want to be nosy. Just don't. You're setting yourself up for that answer. You legitimately do. I already know how blunt he can be. I decide to trust what little I know about him and press forward. No? I ask it with this... Well, you should always ask yourself if asking something nosy is a good idea. Generally, the start is if you don't mind, because the worst thing they can say is I do. No reason to do it if it's gonna piss someone off needlessly. Ah. And before I can even consider, Kutsu goes on. Now, considering what you were just talking about, I probably can guess what you were gonna ask. I can feel the embarrassment returning. Yeah? But before I answer it, I have a question for you. I shrink a little more into myself. Oh, now he's shrinking into himself. Now that somebody else is questioning his ass, he's all like, oh no, I can't do this. Oh. I can tell you what you're going to ask me, and yes, I'm single. Okay, then let's mingle. Yeah? Why do you care? This question catches me by surprise. And at first I wonder if there's just Kutz's way of telling me to shut up. No, I do actually think that Kutz is genuinely interested. Why do you want to know this? And it's a fair question. Why do you want to know about his past? By the way, Wildfire, I'm currently working on commission of Sydney wrestling an opponent that's 3 point bigger than him. How canon is that? But again, after looking at his face, I decide to just tell him the truth. Clear my throat. Well, I like you. You're a cool guy. It comes out rather lamely, but it is the truth. He has a demeanor of not really giving a fuck about what others think of him. Like Flynn, except Kutzo didn't seem like he was putting up a front at all. On top of that, he stepped in to stop a crowbar-wielding drug addict when he saw his friend in danger. Kutzo laughs genuinely, and it's a bit startling. That's really the reason? Depends on the context. How legal is the wrestling? Life or death? Are they having fun? Like a tournament, I guess? I'm flustered again. Well, yeah. Fair enough. I like you too. Leo was mostly right about you. What did Leo say about me? A lot of things, but you can't expect a wolf as love-smitten as he is to not exaggerate, can you? No, I guess not. I step on a particular large rock and nearly lose my balance. Before I can even stumble, so Kutzo's grasping my arm tight to stop me from running into him. Well, sorry and thanks. The raccoon had damn fast reflexes. No problem. They're walking again, but Kutzo doesn't move. I stop and glance at him, but he's looking up at the road, not me. I lost someone in Peyton. And Sydney tail is slip under the opponent wrestler pants to humiliation him. That sounds canon to me. AU-wise, I guess everything depends on the AU, to be honest. By a guy with a gun who didn't give a fuck. I swallow and don't say anything, looking at the ground. Happened on the same street we lived on. Of course, I had no idea what to say and wait for Kutzo to go on, but he doesn't. When I look up, I see he's looking right at me. Swallow. Yeah, that would make me want to move too. Yeah, people and there's less of them here. I'm sorry. Kutzo just looks back at me. Why? I open my mouth, but before I can say anything, Kutzo smiles. Kidding. I let out a breath out in relief and laugh a little. Well, should we keep going? I make as if to walk up the road again, but Kutzo doesn't follow. When I look back, he nods at the brush on the side of the road. It's right there. Thank you, Fire. I need someone to confirm me that Sydney is a toxic member. Oh yeah, it fits. Fit like Leo and Chase, yeah. I wasn't expecting much and I'm not disappointed as we come up to the pump. Mostly, it's just a rusted piece of metal sticking out of the ground. It seems a bit put off by how lame it is himself. Smaller than I remember it being. Meh. It's something at least. I'll get a few shots out of it. Start unpacking the camera from the back. Bit reluctant to do it for something so insignificant. How do you find this thing anyways? I look towards the road. Just basically hidden by the brush. By the dense brush in front of me. Needed to take a piss. I know my house is right there, but peeing outside is liberating. Oh! And yeah, the game is about to introduce into another character in the most brutal way. Ah. Speaking of which, I'm gonna do that. Horses. I can do it in front of the pump if you like for effect. I force a laugh, wondering if this is the first time I've heard the raccoon make a joke. At least I hope it's a joke. My laughing turns into a groan though when I see the battery level. First my phone and now this. Truly echo moment of all time. I don't like this one bit. This is echo. What's up? What's to ask from a bit deeper in the brush facing away from me. My battery is low, not gonna have enough for the school. I have to go back and grab a spare. Oh well. Why don't you finish the footage for the pump while I run back and grab you another battery? You sure? Well, yeah. It'll be faster. I've been in his house a few times. Where's it at? In a dock on his desk next to his computer. Alright, I'll be back. I need Kutsu to take off his shirt and feed me sweat. Damn. Those are statements for the ages. Within a minute, I feel like I have all the footage I can get out of the pump. I sigh and rub my face, glad at least to be out of the sun, but annoyed at that I've gotten so little footage for it. It does look, Chase. You're a crybaby, you know that? You would have had to leave anyways and would have had to go somewhere. You said that. So, just take it, you know? It's fine. It's not like your life depended on it. Let me just walk into my psycho neighbor's house. Okay, so here is my belief. And I'm fairly certain Kutsu could beat the shit out of Leo. Not to mention that I don't even think Leo would do anything to Kutsu, because Leo is not a fucking complete psychopath. Except maybe if Kutsu would flirt with Chase. But Kutsu doesn't do that. But I still firmly believe Kutsu could beat the shit out of Leo. I just realized I missed a bit where you learned Chase has a goatee. I'm gonna tell him, not me. I perk my ears and look back. I hear it again, but it's softer. More of a grunt this time. I'm almost positive that Kutsu didn't go that way, but I can't imagine who else it would be. Kutsu? I wonder maybe if the heat has got to him now. I know how dangerous a heat stroke can be. Getting a little worried, I start moving further into the brush. Don't do it! You fucking idiot! Go back on the road or something. Again, I hear a gag. And it's much louder this time. Kurt, are you alright? Start pushing deeper with a bit more urgency and not 20 yards I come into a clearing. Hello, Brian. The ground is covered in dead grass, and the sun hits me again with a vengeance. I blink furiously, eyes watering under the brightness of the clearing and blazing red behind my eyelids. After a few seconds, I'm able to pry my eye open. The first thing I notice is a peeling trailer to the right, pressed up into the trees. I have some vague memories of a trailer back here where a grumpy badger used to live. Straight in front of me in the meadow, the dead tree, one with dry, gnarled branches that twist up into the sky. The tree itself would be eerie enough, but it's not what's under it that stops me dead. It takes a moment to comprehend what I see. Hanging from the lowest branch is a body, long and thin, emaciated down to the skeleton. I remain rooted to the spot and my mouth hanging open. Disgustingly, my mind immediately goes to the camera. You're a true journalist, Chase, aren't you? You fucking vulture, you. I don't know why. As I said, a true reporter, a true journalist. You're showing footage of a dead body to a whole class. Yes, that would be fucking amazing. Rubbernecking, woo! Oh man. Rubbernecking. Wasn't that like a term for... Oh yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Either I'd get an A for being edgy, or I'd fail for showing a fucking dead body. Probably expelled, actually. Chase is fighting his own very Logan Paul moment here. And then when he's standing in the teacher's office, he's like, I've made a continuous lapse in my judgment, sir. Can I please stay at school? It's when you don't call for help, you just yeah, that was rubbernecking, exactly. If you see a like accident happen or whatever, and you just stare at it. I feel my stomach starting to turn and I'm finally able to take my first step back. But then it moves. It's a quick jerk. One of the skeleton's hands reaching up spasmodically to its neck before slumping back down. With my eyes fully adjusted to the sun, now I recognize the color of the fur, the build of that skeleton-like body. Clint! Clint! On unsteady feet, I manage to stumble forward and reach out towards the ringtail, aiming to at least hold him up until I can shout Kutsu over for help. Somehow, though, he's able to spin and face me, his face an expression of mortified fury. His eyes are almost glowing with how bloodshot they are, and his twisted muscle is covered in drool leaking down on his chin onto his chest. Welcome to BDSM land. I don't think this is how you do BDSM. Get back, leave! What, Clint, what the hell are you doing? I move forward, but Clint lashes out at with a foot hitting me in the knee. Not even BDSM, this is a whole other level of torture porn. Dream version. That's when I see his toes are touching the ground, at least barely. I stare in confusion and look back up to meet Clint's furious eyes. Fucking leave! Spit flies from his muzzle as I take a step back, completely at a loss for words. His bulging eyes move from mine to look over my shoulder, and his enraged expression melts, eyes growing wider. Slowly I turn around, and my vision is filled with a mountain of brown fur. Did Clint just try to save our little friend here? What was that it? My eyes take a moment to draw out and focus on when they do. I realize that I'm actually looking at a bear. A huge one, even for a bear. Huge, naked, and carrying a long, thin branch. The bear stands in my direction. It come from, grinning stupidly at me. This is one of the moments when might have become my favorite crackhead. Instinctively, I widen my stance, eyes looking left and right. All reason has seemingly left the land of echo, and now my brain is left to try and put the pieces of the crazy places together. I watch as a huge tongue sticks out from between the blubbery lips to lick at them, sliding smiley between the grasp of missing teeth. Once he's done with that, he breaks out a grin again, those black lips shimmering under the sun. This is a friend cat? The weirdly high-pitched voice is about as startling as his size. I look back at Clint, who is struggling to stand on his toes, clutching at the rope now. So hard to find a good switch back there, but now it's worth it if there's two of yas. That squeak that must come out of the muzzle seems to perk of the bear's stubby ears. And he licks his lips as he... Oh my god. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. This is not fucking good. Oh, this is so fucking bad. Oh no. I should get going. Sorry about seeing. Words fail me. As the bear takes a step forward and I start sidestepping, preparing myself to make a run for it. Did you know Chase can't outrun a bear? Looks at his legs, especially you. The bear mimics my stance and my stomach drops as I see him take another step forward. I change my trajectory and back away instead. This time he doesn't follow me, he just grins as he watches me move back into the brush. Clint struggles on the end of his rope, twirling around lazily as he tries to get a foothold. Ryan, huh? I get one last look at his face as he spins around, and I'm struck by the expression. For a moment, I'm 9 years old again, running behind the building on Main Street, probably from imaginary foreign agents of some kind. When I hide behind a tree next to Clint's house, I hear the screen door open, and for several minutes I watch Clint breathing deeply into a rag. I'm too young to understand, but for some reason I know it's not good. When I finally decide to run from a hiding spot, Clint looks up and we meet eyes. He's wide and wild, confused and hurt, just like now. I stumble into the brush, finally feeling like I'm far enough away to turn and really make a run for it. Sorry for spoiling the name. I don't care for the name spoilers. That is like not a spoiler to me. Name spoiling probably the smallest thing close to normal. Like you don't have to worry about that at all. Like a name doesn't really do anything for me, other than if I would have written a plot synopsis or something in some way, shape, or form. Kutsu is standing next to the pump when I get back holding the battery. What? I grab his arm and yank him towards the road. Come on. I mutter under my breath before jogging down the road, Kutsu close behind, looking over his shoulder. It's not until we are at the end of the road, turning onto Main Street, before I'm able to slow myself down and tell Kutsu what happened. Holy shit, that's Brian! Kutsu, shut up, feed me sweat. You already had rice paper and mayo! Who? I'm still panting, sweating heavily, in the heat after the short jog down the street. Big-ass bear lives in the brush, right? He has a trailer there. I don't know him. Did he move here after I left? I thought a badger lived in this trailer. I assume so. He was here when I got here. Well, what the fuck was he doing? What the hell did I just see? My mind is still trying to process it. I don't have the answer. Can't say I'm surprised though. I need me trash panda sweat. Those are not water. Huh? I don't have the answer. Are you serious? That's like the most fucked up thing I've ever seen. Kutsu smirks. Well, I guess I would have had to have been there, huh? I stare at him. Yeah, I guess. But from what I know of Brian, he's dumb and violent. Pretty sure he came here because he caused too much trouble in Peyton. It's Clint that's the fucked up part. He's a fucking homophobe, but he's doing that shit? I don't know much about Clint either, but I know is that Brian is his dealer. Oh ho ho! Really? Well, really the entire town's dealer. It made sense that Clint would need one in Echo, considering he was banned for life from diving after getting like 3 DUIs. Never drive under the influence, kids. Like, if you do drugs, fine, but don't drive cars after that. When you're high. That's just not bueno. Also, mandatory disclaimer, don't do drugs either. He's fine with Chase sexuality, though. Chase really can't understand. Is Declan is homophobic towards Leo specifically? Yeah, I think that is what Chase doesn't understand. I think it's just like, I mean, Clint or Leo also basically explained the beef pretty well, because they said Clint just hates Leo and like just throws as many fucked up slurs at him as he can. And Leo does the same in exchange back. Clint never said the F slur to Chase in any way, shape, or form. Or was even all that rude to him. Clint is just a fucked up character. But I thought Jeremy did that. Carl told me that's where he gets his weed. Kutsu shrugs again. No, he did say the F slur to Chase. He did? Oh yeah, in the diner, you were right. He addressed both of them, I think. Or was it on the tracks? And you're right, he said it. I just don't remember exactly where. Did use the F-slot to chase, but only once. I assume Clint is more than just Mariana, huh? Becoming clearer what kind of relationship Clint and the bear have. On the tracks as well, yeah. I shudder just wishing that I hadn't had the witness to witness it. I already feel bad for Clint, but now puts holds out the battery still in his hand. When I move to school? Yeah, let's do that. But I like how he calling you because he doesn't know your name yet. There's no point where I notice Duke down the road. He stands there for a while watching us as I'm getting different angles of the school. It's annoying. But even though he's a complete fuck up, he likes to pretend like he's in control of things in Echo. Probably just promoted himself to sheriff of the town in his mind or something. I ignore him though. And the next time I look up, he's gone. I turn my attention back to the project. Finally able to calculate how much work I actually have left. Wildfire, I'm handing you the pressure to keep hidden spoiling joke to Orko. I'm heading to bed. I'm really sleepy, not having enough sleep yesterday. Okay, good night and take care. And sleep well. Now most of my work is going to have to happen the night before the due date. I swallow, stomach churning at the thought. And I am going to take a quick piss, and I'll be right back. And I'm back. Ah, it's kind of cute that you two are getting into sort of a chat friendship. Kind of nice. I'm hungry. We should meet at the diner. Echo bring people together, suffering together. Sure. Invite Kutsu to come along, but he tells me that he can't stand the diner food and that he was gonna go fishing anyway. Typical raccoon shit. To understand each other in the heart. It's too bad because I've really been enjoying the raccoon's company, and fishing sounds relaxing. I try to exchange numbers with the raccoon, but my screen dies the moment I turn it on. Kutsu takes my number though and promises me to text me. I'm feeling better walking to the diner, but then I remember what happened with Leo. What I might have to do. Should I bring it up now? Your phone is dead. I would really think about bringing it up now. Because Leo will just haul your ass somewhere into the desert and you're lost forever. Don't even know where it'll end up going. Could I ever trust him again? No. You shouldn't have trusted him from the start. Leo's not in the diner when I get there. I pick a booth towards the back, resting my head against the patchy cushions and closing my eyes. Never go to the second location. The week's gone by so fast. Feels like yesterday that we actually got here. Thinking back, I remember worrying about everything was gonna be awkward. That our past would catch up to in the worst ways possible. And it kind of did. We didn't fix or talk about anything. That gives me a jolt of realization and sadness. The whole time I'd been preoccupied with Leo and Leo with me. Wasn't Leo the one that was all concerned about us not keeping the pack together? No, he lied to you. He lied to you about that because the only thing that Leo wanted to do is shoving his dick down your shit chute. It's the only thing Leo ever wanted to do since he knew you would come back. Now that was his only goal ever. And that is the truth. Leo is a wolf, but he never cared about this pack in the grander scheme of things, because you, Chase, are his pack. The send-off feels empty and pointless. Really the last time I might get to hang out with some of them, mainly Chenna and TJ. So Orko, check 2. How much fault is Leo's and how much is Chase's? They're both equally at fault. Chase for basically trusting Leo with anything and letting him do the communication with the others and just overall giving into his advances again and not insisting that they do more shit with the others. And obviously it's Leo's fault too, because he's a fucking psychopath and tries to take control of Chase as much as he can. But Chase is definitely not innocent in this situation. Chase is an enabler, as you would say. He's a passive enabler, but he's an enabler. He enables the very worst of Leo because he's not confronting him with it. He should have confronted him with the fucking porn already. Nothing is still a choice. Yeah. I would claim that. I know it's always also different from country to country. And I also know that victims of abuse, and I feel like Chase is horribly abused by Leo, are kind of in a different thinking line. I'm all aware of that, but I also think that if you do nothing about it, and if you just let those psychopaths have their reign on you or reign over you, you will not get anywhere. You need to stop those people in their tracks. And the best Chase can really do is just to leave Leo, to really draw a line in the sand and say no. And then probably never meet with him alone. And if he wants to meet alone, you say no. Jenna is coming along. The Flynn is coming along. TJ is coming along. But you never meet with him alone. That's what you need to do. That you can't give him any advantage over you. Even if you want to remain friends, you have to take precautions. It's just how I see the things that are unfolding before me. Might be too harsh, might not be the most clever take, but that's how I feel about it. It starts to feel like Leo did it to get his friend's trust and imagine of him in his head. Image of his head. I mean, Leo also definitely manipulated his friends, because the plan from the start, and this is what I think happened, is from the start, when they said we are coming down, we are visiting you, Leo planned this from the start. He planned this out. He knew what he was doing. He was trying to woo him. He was trying to isolate Chase, and he was very successful at it because Chase let it happen. And TJ had the most shit to air out. Did I fuck up by basically ignoring him this whole time? Yeah, you fucking did, you fucking clown! I feel a lump in my throat as I think about the hike I never went on with him. Sure, I'd figured things out with Leo, at least temporarily. Very temporarily, actually. Already things are in jeopardy again. But now it feels like things should have talked about with the others have been buried further. Even though I haven't seen the others for a few days, I can feel their resentment, knowing that Leo and I got what we wanted. Or at least, I thought I got what I wanted. Especially after leaving them to deal with the fallout of Flynn's meltdown. And now, because of that, it'll be harder to reach the root of the problem. Harder to talk about it. Because of that, we probably never will. And I feel like this is also something that Leo wants. I don't think Leo wants everyone to talk about this thing that happened. Because Leo doesn't see that in his favor. I don't think he wants them to talk about it. I think he's not interested in that part of the past. A glance at my dead phone reminded me of the complete lack of text from anyone other than Leo. I suppose this is life. Sometimes things are buried and never talked about again. Hey! don't complain about people not texting you. You didn't text anyone either. You are a fucking bad friend, Chase. Just so you know. And in a way, I guess that's for the best. Sydney's death will die with us. Chase, the signs were there, you ignored them. Yeah. Leo doesn't want to ruin what they have. It sucks that we all carry it but can't rely on each other for support. I take a deep breath, wondering how long it will take me to process the whole trip. Maybe my entire life. Up to this moment. Then support them, Chase. Yeah, exactly. It's at this point that I notice Janice hasn't come up to take my order. The diner itself is completely quiet, no old rockabilly coming over the static speaker. Orco slowly understand why Chase is one of the worst MCs I hate. I mean, I've never thought that Chase is a very innocent party. I think Chase is probably very traumatized by something. By the death of Sydney in some way. And maybe I can also already gauge why. I do think Sydney got murdered. I'm still not sure by whom. But I think somebody killed Sydney. I'm not sure if it was by an accident or deliberate. But something happened with Sydney. And I think it follows Chase quite heavily. Maybe Chase killed him. An accident. Maybe it was deliberate. I don't know, but we will find out. I look around wondering if the place is closed. I remember a few businesses didn't lock their doors. Shush, Angel, please. I'm struggling too. Mostly because of negligent employees. Because burglary is so common here. I'm sorry. I look through the plastic window in the swinging door to the kitchen, past the counter, and notice that the fluorescent lights are definitely on. It's okay, I'm talking to myself. More to be honest. Punish me, Daddy TJ. In fact, it looks like I can see some movement from shadows on the wall. I think about getting up and knocking on the door to let them know I'm here. But that's when the front door pushes open. Leo comes in, a big grin on his face. Shula! My stomach twists as he sweeps up to my side, and I can't help but jerk it away when he kisses at my cheek. He pulls back, frowning. Chase? I sigh, not able to meet his eyes. Immediately I can see the worry in his eyes. It's Johnny! Oh yeah, this part gotta piss you off about Leo even further. He steps back watching me. What? Sit down. Why? Leo asks but sits down anyways. First off, I have to tell him that I looked at his fucking phone, and that's bad enough. But to the right, heart pounding. Look to the right, heart pounding. Otter, what is it? The voice is soft, but I can hear the slight tremble in it. Leo, I looked at your phone. What? I jump as Leo's hackles rise and he bares his teeth. Not an angry reaction, more defensive, fearful. Leo? Why the fuck would you do that? I saw somebody sending hearts. That's cute, thank you. I shrink back, looking down as I listen to his breathing. Yep. I'm sorry, but... Why wouldn't I? Sanji's here! Sanji, how are you doing? I'm sorry, but... You know... what I saw. Fuck, man. Leo puts his face in his hands, which gives me an opportunity to look up. His ears are down, drooping towards the table. Why did you do that? I wait while Leo continues to hide his face, his body rocking. So you were alive and wanted to drop by and say hi. He's not sorry it happened, he's sorry he was caught. Oh god. I appreciate you, Saji. Man, have you been streaming lately? I haven't seen you live in like forever. Any update on that? Not now. Not now what? You can't do this to me now. Not after. I feel this is a very sad game. It's actually a horror game, a psychological horror visual novel. This wolf right here is a complete fucking psychopath. Isolating his boyfriend from their friend group. There's so many red flags. I just can't start, like... Yeah. He's gonna be acting like a Karen who can't accept that he's wrong and starts foreplay. Oh no, please don't. Not after. I didn't do anything. You're the one texting people that I don't give a fuck about them. His head steps up then, and I can see in his eyes glistening. I didn't say that. Just said you were busy. And what you said to TJ. Leo winces at that one, and he slumps back into his booth, his face dejected desperately. I haven't streamed based on a schedule, but next week I'll try to stick to a schedule. Okay. I hope I can catch you when you're alive. Please, Chase, just try to understand. What? I let some anger into my voice, wanting to show Leo that I'm not gonna forgive him just because he's sad. I think he realizes that because his face changes, lips bared out of anger this time. Yeah, I'm really fucking guilty, aren't I? Yeah, you are! That's the asshole that just ditches me, avoids me, won't talk to me. Look, Leo. Sometimes, even if he's ghosting you, gotta move on, right? And this, what you're doing right here, fault blaming, isn't really working right now. I don't say anything in response. And you wonder why I'm fucked up about this. You're the one that just walked out and left me. I was young. Yeah, you keep saying that like you're not young now. If you had actually dumped me, then maybe I wouldn't be this fucking messed up about it. The last sentence escalates into a scream and I flatten back into the booth, glaring at him. Leo had never hurt me before, and I'm not afraid he will now. I've endured plenty of his tantrums. Do you know how crazy this makes you look? Oh, great. You too. I'm serious. This is fucking unacceptable. I'm drawing the line here. Oh, now he's finally drawing the fucking line. I'm drawing the fucking line here. Leo. Leo's snarling face turns up, and that's when I hear movement behind me. Our favorite orc! My favorite dragon, what's up? I turn in my seat and see Janice striding from out behind the counter, the kitchen door swinging shut behind her. Janice? Leo's fur flattens back down like he's forgotten all about our argument. I'm drawing the line and screaming at me in a public diner. Yeah. This is fucking amazing. I love this. This is like so wrong on all fucking levels. And this, I swear to God, I really swear, this is absolutely, this fucking with my brain. This really is fucking with my brain right now. Because that dude, I mean, Leo, like, or Chase never drew a line anywhere, and now he's suddenly drawing a line. Leo, like, and Leo is acting like he just gonna see Deadpool tomorrow. It looks like it. Oh, I'm gonna go next Saturday to see Deadpool. Leo's fur flattens back down like he's forgotten all about our argument. Makes sense why. I was paid to do a review. Oh, no. Oh, no. Denise had been acting strange all week, gradually looking more haggard and pissed off as time went on. Of course, I hadn't forgotten what happened on the side of the road a few days back. Yeah, when she just publicly pissed. But I'd been content with just assuming it had been some type of drug-fueled adventure of hers. Now I'm convinced she's having a mental breakdown. Her fur is mussed up. In every inch of her body, her eyes are wild and wide, similar to how I'd seen Clint earlier. Blood is smeared across her apron, and the handle of a knife sticks out of the... Oh shit! I think somebody's going to get fucked. Janice, are you okay? Leo half standing. I'm not sure if it's because he's afraid of her, afraid for her or of her. She has a knife, and she looks like she murdered someone. So I'd be afraid too. She doesn't say anything, and as she settles up next to our booth, I slide a bit towards the inside. Her wild gaze, I'm feeling like... Under her wild gaze, I'm feeling a little trapped. Janice! Why all the shouting, little impatient? Well, let me take your order and I'll get you settled. Are you okay? Are you cooking? Leo gazes at her apron. Yes, I'm cooking today. What can I make you? I get the unnerving feeling that she isn't even looking at us. Leo glances back at me, which I respond with a bewildered look of my own. Is it possible to open these windows from the inside? I feel like some fresh air might help a bit. Yeah, or just like, jumping out of the window because she looks like she's going to stab a motherfucker any second. I think we might... Nonsense. I've got everything fired up in the kitchen. Leo doesn't respond, just stares at the big coyote. Janice smiles crookedly. Well, if you're not gonna order something, then I'll just make your favorite. With that, she turns and starts waddling off, having not even acknowledged me. Why I smell gunpowder scent in the air? What the fuck? I reach into my pocket, thinking about calling an ambulance for the poor woman until I remember my dead phone. I whisper over to Leo, should we leave? Maybe? She has a bloody knife! And you're going to leave the dead body with her. This is the first time I read this I was convinced the diner would be lit ablaze. I look out the window with the sun-baked road. To the sun-baked road. Have you noticed that something's off? About Janice? No shit. Not just her, the whole town. Think about mentioning the matter with Clint and Brian, but I'm still too absorbed at myself. Leo sits back, still looking at the kitchen door where Janice disappeared. Honestly, people act crazy here. I don't know if it's because of the drugs or because they're actually crazy. They're actually crazy and you fit right in. You're probably the worst of all of them, Leo. The others are at least on drugs. What's your fucking excuse? Utter pussy! That's a pretty lame excuse. I see his nose twitch. And I don't think she knows how to cook. Smells funny in there. I look back out of the window wondering if I should bring up our argument again. Yes, you fucking should! But not here, you should just leave for now. That scene with Janice totally threw me off, and I'm reluctant to waste more energy on yelling. It has to be brought up again somehow. We can't just let this sit. Can't wait for the gun in his house. Start being used soon, yeah. I don't know what he's gonna... who or what he's gonna use it on, but it's gonna be used. You don't introduce a gun and then don't use it. It's just... It's clear that's exactly what Leo wants, though. So I huff and stare out of the window. This fucking town. I haven't paying much attention to it in the past few days, being too infatuated with Leo. Sure, I'd seen some weird things, but it seems in my absence everyone's gone to the fucking wacky shack. Everybody's gone to the rapture, right? I look at Leo. Have you been noticing any of this weird shit going on? Leo sighs. Again, I never know what's weird or not here. I guess I have noticed a few things. I frown. Were you just hoping I wouldn't notice? It's Chekhov's gun, exactly. And if they introduce the gun is going to get fired. Otherwise, it's pointless. Fucking good plot, though. So far. Curse you, Chekhov. Leo doesn't say anything. Instead, he just goes on staring at the kitchen. Would he really just let me blindly move to this town when he knew everyone was going crazy? Yes, he would! Because Leo just doesn't give a shit about you in some way. In a certain way, he doesn't give a shit about you. He doesn't care what you want. He just cares that you are with him. And that is the... By the way, save your game just in case. Can't wait for that sanity tier list. It's all F tier. Everyone. Everyone is probably F tier. On that sanity meter. A feline TJ? Oh shit, it's TJ. TJ is coming down the pipeline. The pipeline! That's so... Or maybe it's Clint. Clint is also a feline. Is that TJ? Leo glances out the window. Looks like it. Out for a jog, of course. The wolf turns his attention back to the counter as Chesney comes out. a messy dribbling milkshake in her hands. Hey Janice, what are you cooking back there? I glance at the crazy coyote as she wobbles over to us, staring at the milkshake with wide eyes. Oh, you know, meat. DJ, as sane as he could be, because Jesus always sits behind. Oh wait, Kutso, sanity tier list. Kutso is not F tier, you're right. Wildfire Kutso is probably pretty high on the... Is it cannibalism if it's a different species? That's a good question. What are the morals and ethics of anthropomorphic animals eating each other if it's a different species? Is that cannibalism? Is it considered cannibalism? I think this is a topic that needs to be exploring. Neo lets out a hollow laugh. Haha, what kind of meat? I'll be honest with you, it's a bit tough and stringy. I lose interest in their conversation and instead looked back out at teacher. I feel like something's off for sure. He's a ways away, but he looks kind of afraid. One of his hands reaches out to a bat or something. Something's wrong. I mutter it under my breath and start to stand. Instead of getting out of here to see what's going on with him. By the way, I forgot I have some coffee milk in my fridge so I can stay up a bit more. But at that moment, a truck pulls into the parking lot right in front of our window. I find myself staring right at Duke. I also see something big in the back of this pickup. A brown furred head peeking over the roof. It's Brian! Duke. Leo snaps his head over to look out the window. As the weasel gets out of the truck, I see something in his hand. A gun. Shit! Language, Leo. I think it depends if there is dog and cats in this world, as well as anthropomorphized dogs and cats, so it's a different species. I mean, you have, just technically speaking, this is a wolf, and this is a coyote. They are both, they're both like canines, but they are also different canine species. Would that already be cannibalism? He's bringing in a gun! Neo reaches across the table for me. Not while I'm here. Janice! But she's already striding over to the door just as Duke pushes through them. Chase, get down! But Duke spots us immediately. Cow eating chicken sandwich and chicken eating hamburger, staring at each other. I still remember the funny, that one meme about Zootopia, where somebody just has the rabbit and like her blank stare that she has in that one scene, and then there is ice cream in Zootopia. Where does it come from? And more importantly, who is getting milked? But Duke spots us immediately. Duke, I told you not to fucking run away from me. He starts towards our table, but Janice, on her way towards the kitchen, intercepts him. Duke, is that a gun? I'm not going to have you barging in here, ruining the peace. Technically speaking, fishing's still a thing here, and I bet shark exists in this world, so anthropomorphic, an actual animal, would still work like human. Any creature can be male. I've seen way too many pictures. It's not where I want to go. She sticks her bulky body in the way. This way. Especially bulls. Oh no, we are going there. The fuck out of my way, cunt. Language. It's as if Janice doesn't notice that there is a fucking gun being waved around right next to her face. Also said bye-bye to Janice. I reach out and grab Leo's arm, trying to pull him down. Call the police, my phone's dead. Leo slowly sits and looks around. The only exit is at the front. We are trapped. You don't think those fuckers are behind all of this? You've been seeing that otter around too, haven't you? I'm not concerned with that anymore. I've made things right. You're fucking concerned that what happened to our grandparents is happening to us? I won't ask you to leave again. Her voice is threatening. From this angle I can't see her hands, but I can see she's reaching something. Oh my god! Chase, get down! Leo's voice is bizarrely calm, but as he reaches over to me, I feel him shake. He presses me down on my shoulder. And as I'm about to slide under the table, I see Janice move forward. Then I cover my head and cower against the booth under the table. Leo shouts and yanks me up against his side, covering with his arm. I hear him breathe heavily into my ear, and I stare wide-eyed from under the booth, only able to see the dirty beige wall opposite. Leo's breathing is all I can hear, otherwise it's silent. Then I hear Duke muttering something under his breath, followed by soft padding footsteps. A few seconds later, his legs come into view, and his feet turn into face us. Now is not the time for anything appropriate. Remember that, Leo. I think Leo is probably going to... we'll see. I see the gun dangling from one hand before he raises it slightly, pointing at us. I close my eyes. How did this happen? Just seconds ago, Leo and I were arguing, and now I'm about to fucking die. I keep my eyes tightly closed, hugging to Leo as hard as I can and wait. But nothing happens. I keep my face pressed into Leo's chest though, wondering if I'm already dead. Finally, Duke speaks. Leo out, or you stay there. I feel Leo hesitate against me. Then his lips press against my ears. It'll be okay, baby, just stay here. Slowly he untangles my arms from around him. Then with his hands up, he pushes out from under the table and stands up. Face the wall. Leo hesitates and Duke growls. I ain't gonna fucking kill ya. Just figuring out what happened is all. Killing ya doesn't fix it. You just fucking shot Janice, you fucking cunt. Why should I believe you? The last guy got killed and that didn't fix shit. You shot Janice. Looks over to the corpse, yeah. Cause she got my fucking way. But it don't matter, everything fucked up now. Leo turns his face to the wall slowly. I watch from the space between the table and the booth. What do you want? To fix this fucking town. You're starting something with this otter. This is all happening before. All happened before. Duke looks out the window and makes a come on motion with his hand. Gonna stop it from happening this time. Neo looks to the left. But you fucking killed Janice! Yeah, he did. I hear the wall's voice break slightly. Won't matter in the long run. The doors rattle and someone comes in. Got the zip ties? Hands behind your back, Leo. Leo looks at whoever just came in. Come on, now. It's Brian, the resident drug dealer. They killed Janice. Those bastards. Or that bastard, yeah. In South Park voices. Slowly, Leo does as he told, and I see a pair of massive paws reach forward to bind the rope's wrists. Jesus, Brian looks fucked up. Janice, I choose you. Assault him. Is that a Pokemon trainer voice? Janice goes into battle. Duke uses gun. Gun is very effective. Janice falls. Ryan face too cute for what he's done. Nah. He looks as fucked up as he is. Duke puts a form onto his nose. Fuck, you stink. I hope you didn't kill that ringtail. We could use him. Ryan just grins and responds, yellow teeth. Janice's hit point is at 1. Nah, they fell below 0. Janice is fucking dead. My heart sinks as I think about Clint. Had he been warning me to run? Why had I thought that him hanging from the tree like that was probably just a normal thing for him and the bear? Was he a victim of whatever crazy has just hit the town? Oh well, you know, glad you asked finally the important questions. Must have been what was going on. All this is hitting me at once. It can't be a coincidence. Clint was probably just as scared as I am now. Grab the other and tie him up too. Just stick him in your trailer for now. My stomach drops. Duke gestures with his gun again. Come on out. My legs are lit. I can't move. Neil looks over his shoulder at me, and the fear in his eyes scares me even more. Do not go to the second location. Okay. His muscles move, mouthing something. Run. But I can't move. I've never been so scared in my life. It's like everything is numb. Brian doesn't care though, and moves forward. The look on his face is eager. The gun goes off again. Everyone, including Brian, jumps, and I hit the floor with my hands over my head. Fuck! Fuck! I look up and see Duke, eyes extra wild, dancing around, pointing the gun upwards at the ceiling. Fuck, did you see that? She's crawling around up there. I told you she's on my ceiling every night watching me. The fuck is going on? Ryan is looking up too for the first time. His face is twisted into an expression that isn't stupidly grinning. 1 HP. It's full of fear. But when I look up, I see nothing. Chase! Neo hisses at me and that jolts me back into reality. Told ya, Janice hit point is at 1. Without even willing myself to do it, I shoot out from under the table. In front of me are 2 exits. The front doors and the kitchen door, which is closer. There has been an exit in the kitchen, but I'm not sure of that. My legs are already making me run though. Shoot out! Poor choice of wording there, buddy. Truly wrecked moment. And I have to choose now. Okay. So, what are we choosing? I kinda wanna go into the kitchen. You saved the game already, so no sweat. Okay. I've saved the game, we're going into the kitchen. I'm curious what Janice did back there. I have no idea how long Duke will be distracted, so I dive behind the counter to my closest exit. Don't look back, Chase. Go as fast as you can. Shit, he's getting away, Brian. I push past the swing door and immediately slip. One moment I'm standing and the next I'm laying on the ground. Face stinging from the smack into the tile. I stare blearily at the ground, forcing myself to move again, but it's so slippery. Chase, you utter freaking grah! With his short, stubby fucking legs. Completely useless, except he's in water. At first I think the tiles are just red, but then when the overpowering metallic scent hits my nose, I realize more than that. I picked the kitchen in my first playthrough too, so I don't know if that's the right option. Blood is everywhere, and now I'm covered in it. I stop wondering when the nightmare I'm in is gonna end. When the paralysis will hit me. Fuck, get her off me! I force myself to move because I need to get the fuck out of your dream or not. I slip and slide along the tiles, trying to stand, almost falling. I manage to grab the metal counter and yank myself up. And then I'm standing over the counter and over what's on top of it. A pile of meat. I can see the fur, but it's a mound of unrecognizable parts. Butchered. Something cooks on the stove. My stomach churns and I heave, but there's nothing in me to come up. You best believe in ghost stories, Orc, cause you're in one. Oh yeah! It's the diner, the slipperiest part should be be the ice machine, not the murder scene, yes! A bang behind me forces me to turn to my right. I see the mountainous form of Brian charge through the door. Fuck me, Brian looks like the worst hillbilly ever. He looks like he came straight out of the Hills Have Eyes. Straight out of that. He immediately slips, but his momentum still takes him forward and he reaches out for me. Next thing I know is that I've been hit by a car and I'm flying back. I stop short of hitting the ground thanks to the wall behind me, and my head explodes. I want to jokingly say would, but now is not the time. By the way, fire spoiled me. What other option would do in the most unhinged way possible? Prevent the spoiler. Oh no! The darkness that surrounds me is painful. I feel like I'm floating in a black sea and nothing about it is comforting or peaceful. It's like a fitful dose when you have a really bad fever. I remember clearly, but Chase. I feel my head tilt back and a lightning bolt arcs through my head. I try to open my eyes and then But they only manage to flutter, and I see flashes of red before me. Something is hooked under my back, and I'm dangling from it. I imagine a rope tied around me, holding me above the dark abyss below. Sorry, casted lightning bolt at you. And I see. Is this hell? I grit my teeth as the searing red becomes too much to look at, and I close my eyes again. This must be a nightmare. When it feels too real. I've had them before and I know how to deal with them. Just need to go back to sleep, to drift off, and I'll wake back up in my bed. Go back to sleep and wake up back in my dorm. Wait, an echo? I try to think, try to prod back into my memories. Where was I last? What was the last thing that I remember doing? Trying to remember is monumental. More than I can handle, unfortunately. Drift back into unconsciousness. I'm pulled back into the sickly dark as something jolts my body. I grimace and gasp. I'm filled with such a feeling of unprovoked loneliness and despair that I actually feel my eyes watering and I sob. And a sob escapes my mouth. I hear a soft chuckle above me and I go quiet. I still don't know where I am or what's going on at all, but that laugh is enough to tell me that I don't want to be where I am. The feeling of hanging from a rope is gone now. Instead, I'm lying on something flat and hard, and my arms and legs are spread out. The air is cool now, and my skin is cold and wet, like I've been sweating a lot. The feeling is especially strong along my back, and I want to roll over, but I can't. Something is holding my arms down, and there is a rattling sound when I try to move. I moan and try to open my eyes again, though it's almost like they're glued shut. With a little more effort, I manage to crack one open. At first, all I see is a blur of colors above me, and have to blink a few times to clear it. Slowly, the image comes together, and I'm able to make out that someone is above me. This is so creepy. This is channeling Silence of the Lamb pretty hard, isn't it? Well, probably not, but... Almost 3 hours stream. Yeah, I'm going for a little bit still, and then I'll cut it. But I want to know what's happening now. I feel my blood run cold, realizing that someone has been watching me this whole time. Then you see I, the Dragonlord, sitting on a skull throne, drinking red wine, cackling at the orc, and welcoming him to my dragon's left. Exactly. Hey, you're finally awake. Oh, wrong story. How is someone on the ceiling? I try to speak, but only a dry, crackling squeak comes out of my throat. I love this. I love how eerie this is. The eyes especially. This looks so fucking eerie. The reflection doesn't quite have the goatee. Definitely very eerie. At this point, my vision has cleared enough to make out an otter. An otter? I squint. A blue shirt, beige pants. I gasp reflexively, try to draw back from the thing. Is it me? It smiles. It's missing my goatee. How? So, no, not you. The flat surface I'm lying on tilts precariously and my stomach lurches. I try to clutch at the surface, though there's nothing to grab onto. I shut my eyes and gag as I feel my stomach swirling around inside me. I don't know if that makes it better or worse. I think it makes it worse. Because at least you can say, okay, it's my reflection, probably. The ache in my bed is magnified tenfold. And tears start to leak from my eyes. Just when I think I'm about to slip off the face of the earth, the ground starts to tilt back the other way. I swallow and gasp for air, my entire body shaking and sweating all over again. I feel like I've been swimming too long and my body's exhausted. So, remember the question about your off and ghostly clone an hour ago? Yeah, that is NTR Chase. NTR Chase, okay. NTR Chase. What the hell is going on? I remember that someone was staring at me from the ceiling, and I hope my eyes again feel full. I cringe as I see the same otter staring down at me. The otter that clearly wearing the same clothes as I am. But now it's not smiling. A tear-stained expression is on my face. Okay, that's more based in reality. The mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest of them all? A mirror on the ceiling? I try to sit up, but come up short, gagging as something tightens around my neck. I try to move my hands to whatever it is, and that doesn't work either. That same rattling sound I heard earlier makes me look towards my right hand, and what I see makes my blood freeze. Around my wrist is what looks like a leather strap. I desperately look to my other hand and find the same result. Looking at my feet, I see the same contraption fixed to my ankles. When I try to lift one of my feet, I see metal glinting from underneath, making me think that the leather is bolted into the platform. Oh my. Mirror, mirror on the ceiling, what the heck is this shit? What the heck is this feeling? Panic rises up in my chest and I kick my feet and try to flail my hands, but the straps hold firm into what looks like a wooden plank. Kai, first time witnessing Echo Stream. No, he's been here before. He's about to see the most echoest part, which is the platform that I'm laying on. Yep. They are arranged in a way to leave me spread eagle. Over the leather I can smell all kinds of musk. Though the strongest one reminds me of Clint. I try to lift up my head, but the thing around my throat is too tight and instantly makes me choke again. Still doesn't change me going, oh my! My head throbs. As long as your cock doesn't throb, well, maybe it makes you throb because you are into bondage. Who knows what kind of kinky fuck you are? Tears start to form in my eyes again as I try to think back. Where the fuck am I? Is this a part of some kind of prank? Maybe my friends in the dorm trying to scare me? Had I been drinking at a party? No, wait. I'm an echo. That's the last place I remember being. I'm here for a project and I'd be with my old friends. I was with Leo and I'd been at the diner. Suddenly all of the horrible things that had happened that day come rushing back. I hope not as kinky as it will be. Not to shame anyone, but I do have my limits. Lucy Lawless is gonna come out and you realize you're in an Eurotrip movie. Oh my god. What? Had that really happened? I struggle a bit and then try to think. Had run to Leo's house. Leo, I don't know what happened to him. I left him with Duke. And then Brian, he'd been chasing me and tried to break in. I start to breathe heavily again. I realize where I might be. Brian got me when I was trying to run and hide. He just fucking attacked me. I look around. In a small room. What looks like a living room of some kind. There's a couch to my right. And a wall with a clock on the left. Ticking away. There's a window too. And along with the ticking, the wind blowing outside is the only other sound that I can hear. Looking down towards my legs, I can see what looks like a tiny kitchen with some cupboards in the countertop. So they're keeping Orc as a pet. Yeah, they keep me as pets. Just like I keep Nori as a pet. Dishes and junk are piled high along the length of the counter, and it smells like cigarette smoke. Do you like the leather collar? Kinda kinky. Did it include stockings? No, we don't do stockings here, Kai. Stockings are a government psyop. They are not real. Looks like I'm in a trailer home. A small moan of terror escapes my lips. I'm at Brian's house. I remember Kurt telling me that he lived in one. Tears start leaking out of my eyes. Even though the crying is making my head throb all over again. All I can think about is what he was doing to Clint. No, I have to calm down. I don't want to attract any attention if it's actually nearby. After what happened in the diner, the cops have to be on their way. If they aren't already here. Do you really think cops exist in this town, you fucking imbecile? People eat in the diner all the time. One of my friends probably would find it and call someone. Well, I just have to wait until they find me. I mean, they probably maybe exist, but they don't do a particularly good job at anything, I guess. There's a city council run by fucking Flynn and Kutsu. The only one that's remotely capable of is Kutsu. And he doesn't strike me as somebody who has a gun. He probably does, but he's not here right now. But he's probably going to free him. I'm pretty sure Kutsu and somebody else is coming. Okay. Enough rants. Swallow again, feeling my body break out into a cold sweat all over again. What is going on? They wanted something from us. I remember that, at least. To be honest, I wouldn't trust anyone with a gun in this town. That is a fair assessment. But what? Duke had been saying something about seeing things. and that we might be responsible. With my eyes shut and shake my head, but then immediately stop when my head throbs from the movement. None of this makes any sense at all. Am I still dreaming? At that moment, I hear a soft mumbling in the distance through the thin walls of the trailer. I freeze and hold my breath. It's little ways off, but I'm almost positive that it's Duke. The high, Weasley wine mix with the occasional smoker's cough is unmistakable. It's coming closer and I can start to make out what he's saying. Because we are already fucked here. You think we can't just let them go and it'll be all fine? Now would be a good time to go back to bed. I don't know who he's talking to, but the sound of an accompanying heavy lumbering step gives me an idea. It's worth it though, if we can't figure out what the fuck is going on. Sounds like they're right up against the trailer now. I can hear them talking, walking around. Towards a small door on the right side of kitchen. Leo ain't saying shit yet. But I think it might be the otter. He's the one I seen last week. The footsteps stop in front of the door, and I listen hard, my heart pounding in my chest. I hope you haven't done anything to him. I didn't. Brian's uncharacteristically high-pitched voice sends a chill down up my spine, my fur flaring out with it. Duke seeing me in your dreams is on you, not me. You bet your ass you haven't. If you do any of your fucked up shit to him. I stop breathing, staring at my terrified expression in the mirror. What am I saying is we still got a chance to get out of this. What we've done is bad enough, but if we can get him to understand. We stop talking, and that's when I can hear Brian's heavy, labored breathing. I'm not breathing at all. Worried that they'll be able to hear it, even though they already know I'm here. I let it out with a gasp as the door suddenly swings open and Duke comes up the steps, looking around before spotting me. Brian, you're one sick fuck. I tense up as a massive shadow appears behind him, and it feels like the entire trailer tips a bit as Brian makes his way up the same steps. Fuck me. I don't know, like, Brian and Duke are both not wood material. Like, not at all. Brian's presence is so imposing and frightening that I don't even notice that Duke is right next to me. I jump when he sets his hand on my left arm. I jerk my head to look at him wide-eyed. Hey, calm down. We're not gonna hurt you. Brian chuckles and Duke shoots him a look. He turns his attention back to me, softening his expression, at least as much as he can with his scraggly drug-fucked face. Drug-fucked face is probably my new favorite expression. Drug-fucked face. I just need to get some information from you. I open my mouth to speak, but all that comes out is a dry squeak. Brian chuckles again and makes his way to stand to my right. I cringe away from him and his stench of old sweat as he grins down at me with his yellow teeth. Brian, get some fucking water. Brian looks at Duke with a strange face before turning back to the kitchen. Hey, don't worry about him. I know this thing. Duke taps on the board with a finger. Looks bad, but we just gotta hold you here for a bit. He's a queer. He likes it. I'm suddenly hearing banjos. Dude, Brian is like the most Alabama shit out here. Duke glares at him as Brian comes back from the kitchen with a ceramic mug. Also, that sentence from Brian, he's a queer, he likes it, is like probably the most homophobic this game has ever gotten. Just to, I mean, it's okay that they do it. And it's also very, very okay that media confronts that shit. I'm just saying that. I don't have an issue with it. But, like, this is the most homophobic sentence so far. I'm just putting that out there. Duke glares at him as Brian comes back from the kitchen with a ceramic mug. It's just storytelling. Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that, like, this is something, you know? You're a queer too. Brian visibly bristles and his face loses any of the sick humor it once had. Duke clears his throat. Things have been happening here and we want to find out why. What? Duke furrows his brows like a kid trying to figure out something difficult. Yeah, see, people ain't right in the head here. Yeah, well, no fucking shit, Sherlock. Duke and Brian, the ghost hunters that echo the sound. Oh my god. The ghost hunters that echo the surfs. They're probably the fucking worst ghost hunters ever. Yeah, I know. What we are doing ain't exactly right in the head either. Brian gives his dumb chuckle again, but I keep my face averted from him. Partly because I really can't stand the smell. But we are all a little fucked up here. Yeah, you don't say. What I'm talking about is something else, like what you saw with Janice. I shift a little as I'm reminded about what happened in the diner. Is she dead? Duke looks genuinely sad. I don't know. It's a damn shame. But you saw the way she came at me. That's the shit I'm talking about. I look at the weasel's waistband and immediately see the handgun tucked in his pants. I hope he doesn't blow his dick off. Like, don't tuck your fucking guns into your fucking waistband. You're gonna blow your balls off. God damn it, at least get a fucking holster, you clown. Fuck. And I was hoping to stop it before any of this happened, but now? Is that a gun in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? Probably the worst joke to make right now. It would be funny though. Everything's gone to shit. Brian finishes for him, and I can feel him move closer to the platform I'm laying on. Again, I avoid eye contact, not wanting to provoke him in any way. Yep. And it's only gonna get worse. Duke just looks at me. Like that's all the information I need. I don't know what you're talking about. I see a twitch of irritation in Duke's face and I hold my breath. I mean, what's happening out there? Duke feels like he rolled a nat 20 on persuasion. I feel like that Duke is onto something, but he's also way too fucked up to make sense about it. Duke shakes his head. What's happening everywhere? It wasn't just Janice that lost her mind. Duke looks back at the window suddenly, first standing on end. I look too, but all I see is leaves and branches. The late afternoon sun filtering through them. Duke's quiet for a while before he starts speaking again without turning around. It happened to my granddaddy, my daddy. Now it's happening to me. I close my eyes, wondering if Duke is just crazy as Janice was. If he does, I doubt he even has a clue what he's doing right now. Gail's missing. Cynthia drove off into the desert. Duke turns around to look back at me. We saw your cat friend running down the street on the way here. Think someone's after him. Your daddy or your daddy? DJ? Thing is, we've all got something after us, something bad. Won't let you leave when it starts. What's after you? I flinch as Brian speaks just above me, leaning down towards my face. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Bullshit! I flinch again as Duke's concerned demeanor immediately drops away. Why do you think we came to get Leo and you? I don't know. Maybe getting an orgy down? Because we are all queers here, right? He pauses like I should actually know the answer. I feel myself starting to panic again with these two crazy hillbillies looming over my body. I feel like Duke knows something, but he doesn't want to say it. And I feel like it is something that Chase kind of locked away in his brain and doesn't want to talk about. So he doesn't really unlock the memory. I don't know. I don't know what. Duke slaps me and I gasp in shock. I saw you hanging around this fucking town before you even got here. Late at night. Lurking around. I'm still cringing from the slap. It's NTR, Chase. And I keep my eyes closed as if not seeing any of this is going to make it stop. And then once all your friends get here, all hell breaks loose. You think that's a fucking coincidence? Quiet for a moment and all I can hear is the rush of blood in my ears. Is this all really happening? Okay, real quick. What does NTRJ stand for? I only heard of him under a different name. Angel Dog called him NTR Chase, so I just call him that too. I don't know what it... Not the right Chase. No, NTR is like Netorare. It's the abbreviation for that Japanese cuckolding thing. Angel Dog called him that, so it's like... I just took it because I thought it was funny. I feel Duke touch my arm again and I flinch in fear. I get it, it works. Hey. I feel like he wants me to look at him. So I slowly open my eyes, tears spilling out as I do. The blurry shape of Duke dances in front of me. I'm not saying you did it, or that you wanted it to happen. I don't say anything because I still don't know what he's talking about. But I know I can tell him that. It's just that you gotta know something. Anything. So that we can stop this. Duke starts to pat my arm and I shiver. Brian is breathing heavily next to me. And I glance at him. Shows that his expression is more interested now, almost eager. Duke still hasn't answered my question. It makes no sense that they'd go so far as to kidnap us. But why? Why didn't you just ask us? Why all of this? I lift my hands weakly, making the platform rattle. Duke's face darkens. Because I've been asking Leo all week what the fuck you guys are doing and he wouldn't say shit. I can tell you what we were doing. We were fucking. Duke stops patting my arm and scratches behind his head. And someone told me that you would know. We were doing each other. Exactly. I stare at him. But who? Someone I know. And it makes sense. Something bad happens, and if you don't fix it, it won't stop coming after you. I shut my eyes and almost sob. Says they know, and I thought it had to be Leo, or you, considering what we've been seeing these past few weeks. Was it somebody I used to know? Duke pauses. Or maybe one of your other friends. My mind briefly flashes to DJ. I don't know what you're talking about. I wait for another slap, but it doesn't come. I open my eyes again and Duke looking back out the window. We're kind of protecting you too. I stare at the back of his head. Things are getting worse out there, and if we don't figure something out soon, we are all gonna die. Fuck. Duke's voice is dead in the distant. Brian, though, touches my arm, and I gasp, shrieking away. He's smirking down at me, looking at my stomach or crotch, somewhere around there. Brian, stop! Duke is turned around, looking over me at the bear. How long are you going to scratch your belly, Brian? Probably way too long. We're not getting anywhere right now, and I gotta get back to the wolf. Even though Duke is the one that hit me, I'm terrified at the thought of being left alone with Brian. Duke sees my face. Don't worry, Chase. Even though you're lying to us, I don't plan to let this parrot have his way with you. Brian snorts. Brian knows what will happen if he does. Duke gives Brian a cold, callous stare, and this time Brian doesn't give his stupid grin back. I give Duke props for reeling in Brian. But you'd better hope your fuck buddy says something soon, because if not, we might have to get mean. Ah! Duke heads for the door, turning to look over his shoulder. At least he's reeling him in for now. Just freed him and make sure he doesn't escape, that's it. And with that, Duke briskly disappears out of the door. A golden flash of afternoon light, lighting up the dim trailer. Brian and I listen to the weasel's soft, anxious footsteps. As soon as the sound is gone, Brian stands up. Don't leave me alone with him. Yeah. That is going to go really well. I jump as much as I can. My restraints before he does it again. This time slamming both his fists against the wall. Fucking foul! Fucking bundle of sticks. I can't say it because the YouTube algorithm would probably just eat me. He screams so loudly my ears immediately starts ringing. I think he's talking to me. So I brace myself for what I'm sure is gonna be the worst moment of my life. But he stalks right past me, not even looking at me. Yeet you so hard you'd end up in the Atlantic. As soon as I commented that, my screen went black and everything reset for a second. Instead, he strides up to the kitchen counter. Once there, he picks up a dirty pan, then raises it over his head before bringing it down with a crash. I hear glass shatter before he does it again and again. Goddamn cocksucking piece of shit! Can you get back to scratching your stomach, Brian? He throws the pan across the room, crash into the wall. I'll fucking kill him! I fucking kill that fucking cunt! Brian is a bit intense. I stare at him with wide eyes as I watch him stamp his feet like a little kid. Then he slaps himself across the face twice. After that, he closes his hand into a fist and punches himself in the head repeatedly. Yeah, just a tiny bit. Brian, you need to chill out, okay? It's with a force that would knock me out cold. Yeah, it's because you're fucking whimsy, Chase. I'm sorry, but you are very whimsical. No, you're not whimsical. Whimsical is something different. Brian, there is a pill for that man. It might be funny if I wasn't tied down to a contraption in the trailer belonging to Brian. Brian stumbles after what seems like the fifth blow and covers his face. Massive shoulders shake with sobs. Thinks he can do whatever the fuck he wants. Thinks he can boss me around. Brian walks around and slams both his fists into the counter several more times. The sound of shifting glass accompanying it. I'll kill him! I'll kill him! Kill him! His voice crescendos in a pitch and volume before he finally slumps back against the counter. Head in his hands, and he starts crying again. I breathe as quietly as I can, not wanting to draw any attention to myself. I'll get him. I'll fucking get him. Won't control me no more. Suddenly his quaking shoulders freeze. I always forgot what Brian canonically sounds like. They say he has a high-pitched voice, or a surprisingly high-pitched voice for somebody with his stature. Slowly turns, and with a sinking heart, I realize he's looking right at me. The fur on his cheeks, already matted before, are now flat and shiny with wet. Snot runs from his nose down to his upper lip. Then I see red dripping from his left fist. The fur on the right is matted with blood as well. He watches me for a while, then grins. Am I funny to you? Don't know how to tell you this, Brian. You're as funny as fucking athlete's foot. I open my mouth, but nothing comes out. He suddenly strides right up to the end of my platform, standing between my spread legs. Did you know the best advice for fighting a brown bear is to play dead? Yes, I did actually know that. Some of them, they won't touch you when they think you're dead. I feel numb, the fear taking up every fiber of my being. And you're also supposed to slowly back away and not run away with other bears. And I think when you meet a grizzly and he's overpowering you and trying to eat you, you're fucked because they eat you alive. They just eat a little bit of you and then drag you away and throw you into some ditch. So you can't leave, and then they come back and eat you some more. If you die by grizzly, it's really fucking gruesome. I feel nothing else. You like seeing him make fun of me? Try to speak, but still nothing comes out. Swallow. Oh, I'm pretty sure you're swallowing, Chase. No, 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 no. My lips tremble and my voice shakes. I've never stuttered so hard in my life. You know what I'd do to you if I could? Oh no, he'll wish though. Brian sneers down at me, the wet fur on his cheeks bristling out. Swear to God, I'd fucking tear your balls off right fucking now. He rests a huge hand on my crotch and presses down. I cringe and whine. Please. Brian grins, only gets bigger, and he rubs his crotch with the other hand. He watches me wince. Brian has, I mean, like, we know Leo is a psychopath, but Brian has flat out, like, Ted Bundy vibes right now. That guy is a fucking serial killer. Oh God, you already know how to beg. He leans forward towards my face, moving his hand to clamp over my mouth. Welcome to the least synced character in the game. He deserves his own rank. Brian. And then I'd hang you for hours. I stare at him, breathing hard. Through my nose, tears leaking down the sides of my face. His hand slides down from my mouth to my neck, and he starts to squeeze. Then I'd give you a little stool to stand on. When you start to go out, then I'd kick it away again. I gasp and gag, both from the squeezing and from his reeking breath. I'm so sorry, Clint. I'm so sorry. You, Clint, I know you don't hear this, but I'm so fucking sorry, dude. Nice guy. Yeah, he's a stand-up neighbor. That's the kind of neighbor you buy a shotgun for. I like Clint. Yeah, I do too now. I did a 180 on Clint actually. Poor Clint. In a way, I feel sorry for him. He stares hard at me and I can feel his crotch grinding up against mine. He's hard. Then he blinks and slowly pulls back. He watches me gasp and sob for a while before reaching down again. I try to turn my head, letting out a moan of terror. And he doesn't grab my neck. Again, instead he prods and teases the fur, checking the skin on the neck. Better not bruise. That fucking cocksucker saw that. His expression darkened again. If you fucking tell Duke about this. He raises a fist and I cringe. No, 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 I swear, I won't. I turn my head away, eyeing his raised fist. He holds it there a while, watching me. Seems to be calculating something, like he's wondering if he can get away with what he's about to do. Then he seems to make up his mind. Good. With that, he slams his fist right down into the center of my torso, just below my oh my God. My vision flashes and I hear a rasping, droning wheeze that I realize is coming from my mouth. It goes on and on until there's no air left in me. And then I can't breathe in again. My vision goes black as I suffocate, breathing against the restraint, wanting to curl up into a little ball and disappear. Ow, not ovo. I hate that sound so much. It's so effective at selling its point and as an emphatic person. Ow, 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 ow. It feels like hours, days before I finally get a sip of air. My mouth gapes as I try to suck it in faster. Brian is standing over me and I'm somehow surprised that he's got a worried look on his face. He probably thinks he killed me. But then my stomach starts to turn and lurch. Before I even realize I'm about to puke, a gush of vomit fills my mouth and I start to choke. Shit. Brian hurries to my side, and as I'm giving a second heave mixed with a gag, he tips the platform over sideways. A huge paw pushes my face to the side. Look at the ground, and I watch as it spills to the ugly shack carpet. When I finish, Brian slowly tilts the table back, looking at me with disgust. At this point, I'm too tired to cry. Instead, I lay there in a daze, occasionally hacking or coughing. Brian goes to the kitchen, rustling around a while before returning with water and paper towels. He wipes my face and nose before tilting my head up to drink the water. Rinse and spit. He holds the mug there until I do as he says. Then he gets down on his knees. I watch his head bob up and down as he busies himself with the mess on the floor, muttering about Duke finding out. I'm too numb to care right now, though. So why is Brian so afraid of Duke, though? Brian is probably like twice and a half his size. He could just tear that weasel probably into pieces. Right now, I'm starting to realize that I might not survive this. Brian calms down pretty quick after his tantrum. Once he cleans up the mess, he splays out on the couch and starts watching TV. Brian can take at least 3 gunshots probably. Being a bear and all. Yeah, I know. That's like he has like 5,000 hit points. While this goes on, I lay quietly against the platform, trying not to start crying again. My mind keeps wandering back just hours ago, how everything seemed to be fine for the most part. I keep wishing I could go back to the beginning of the week. Thinking about that makes me sentimental, and I'm longing to see Leo, TJ, Carla, Jenna, and even Flynn again. Leo just got you in this fucking mess! Well, not entirely, but like, no! Get away from Leo! Were they alright now? Leo is probably not alright. Duke said things out there were bad. Are they all in some sort of trouble? If that's the case, the cops should be here by now. Why even Flynn? Why not even Leo? Someone, Chase forget the cops. There is no cops here. There are no cops, Chase. Should I have gotten the word out? Wouldn't they? If people were murdering each other like that, like what happened to Janice, there's no way that wouldn't be the case. Brian lets out another explosive laugh, wiggling his feet on the armrest of the couch. Earlier, he tried to feed me some dried cereal, but it was just like cardboard in my mouth, and after only a handful, I couldn't eat anymore. I'm just thankful that he's preoccupied with something else right now. There's a soft knock at the door and Brian jumps, quickly changing the channel to go off before he gets up and lumbers over to the door. He pauses, then rifles through some magazines on a small table next to the couch. He pulls out a handgun that looks cartoonishly small in his hands before making his way to the door. I weakly turn my head in his direction and watch Brian open the door crack. He chuckles. Well, it's going to shit and you're still coming here for more, eh? Ryan pushes the door open a bit more, and I catch sight of a skinny, malnourished polecat. It's Clint. I feel like this is Clint redemption arc, isn't it? Clint is looking at Brian and appearing even more disheveled than usual. So are we doing... Clint had stepped up onto the first step and looked into the trailer, immediately spotting me. He stares, the shock on his face almost comical. Brian turns to see what he's looking at, as if he'd forgotten that I was even there. He gives a stare before shoving Clint back out the door. I'm full today. Already got some tick in your spot. Clint now out of my line of sight, but I can hear him shuffling around in the dead vegetation. Please, I really need something right now. We can't do it outside. Jesus Christ, this is so fucking sad. Imagine you're so addicted to shit that you are going to do these kind of like fucked up breath plays with your dealer and shit where you just can die. No, I got some business to take care of. Tomorrow, maybe. Clint starts to whine again, but Brian swings the door shut with a bang. Heh, fucking dopehead. Says the other dopehead. Brian walks back into the room looking at me and back at the TV. Probably shouldn't have let him see you, though. He mumbles before sitting back down and switching the channel back to the cartoon. Stare up at my reflection. Even from here, I can see that my eyes are bloodshot and my fur on my face matted. There are dark spots on my shirt, and I distantly wonder if Brian had broken ribs when he punched me. Then I remember that his hand had been bleeding when he did it. It feels strange right now, numb. It kind of feels good after a whirlwind of emotions I had earlier. I still haven't caught up to everything that's happening since I was at the diner. Would I ever been able to? Would I have time if Brian planned to? A tinge of panic pierces through my fog of disassociation, and I clench my eyes shut, screwing up my face as I try not to start crying again. Brian snores again at something on the TV. I open my eyes to the distraught otter laying in the wooden torture contraption. Why is there a mirror on the ceiling? I surprise myself a little by asking the question. Apparently, I really don't give a fuck at this point. I see Brian look over at me from my peripheral vision. Do you really want to know? I shrug the best I can, continuing to stare passively up at the ceiling. The movement sends electric tingles through my arms, which are completely numb at this point. Well, Brian shifts around on the couch. He tries to get a better look at me. When I has my fun, I like them to see what I'm doing. Jesus. Jeez, Jace, please get enough of a desire to live so you can get out of this painlessly as possible. I stare up at the mirror, my expression still blank. I mean, it's not just about what I'm feeling. What they are feeling is important too. Fear. That's what Brian likes. Sure, I can choke you all. I want. And cut you. All I want. But when I do that, you're not thinking about what's actually happening. Brian shifts into a sitting position, now more interested in our conversation than his cartoons. I realize now I've probably made a mistake. You wanna see? I keep my face blank, staring at myself. They don't say anything. That's worst way to say that ever. Brian gets up anyway and comes around to stand over me above my head, blocking my view of the mirror. His reeking stench fills my nostrils, but still, I try not to give him the satisfaction of seeing how afraid I'm starting to become. Okay. I think this is a good point. I mean, it's actually a terrible point for a cliffhanger, but I've been like waiting and reading for a little bit in hope for a cliffhanger to come, but it didn't, so I'll just end it. And this is the best place to stop for now. Okay. I see how it goes next week. As I said, I'll probably be out doing IRL shit, like touching grass and stuff. So I probably won't be around streaming next week, but I'll let you know on Twitter and make possibly a community post how the week is gonna turn out. So yeah, other than that, I hope you all have a great rest of the weekend. Thank you for being here, thank you for watching, and have a good time, everyone. I'll be back soon. I won't leave you. And we need to know how this ends, like how Echo ends. I need to know. So, take care, everyone. Have a nice night. And a nice day. And a nice time zone. Everyone, you've been an amazing audience. I've been TheOrcosaurus. Take care. Bye.